welcome everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Another week of D&D of course. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Doing okay?
Recovering for being sick.
Wellesley doesn't exist in the
Yeah, no, apparently
Yeah.
I just don't exist. Goddamn.
You know what's funny? You were there before the thing started.
Now I'm gone.
Mhm.
Your bard has disappeared.
Cast invisibility on herself.
Or the
I
spirit
don't even
realm.
have that spell.
She went to the spirit realm. That's what happened.
Oh no.
Got Yu-Gi-Oh'd.
Well, I'm
Shadow
glad
realmed.
everybody's doing well. So last week, as you guys got up and was basically getting ready for the day, had breakfast with Art. Art thanked you guys, and you made your way. Well, a 2-day basically walk back to Feilu. During that time, Magpie found a campsite, and Celeste picked one of the scrolls, which ended up being a circus tent inside, which she managed not to sleep in there. The party had fun inside. Anything that they said basically came to fruition there, But the next day they went back to Feilu. Some people had some business they needed to attend to, but they were all going to meet back at the Silver Stag Tavern. Once people finished their business, they were basically talking about what's the next steps until somebody, a man named Christoph,
Yep.
that Victor recognized and Celeste definitely recognized, and she disappeared. The party knew what they need to do. They need to basically find a way to leave, but they also needed to find a place to stay. Warren talked to his guild master, and there was a setup, a place to go find to rest. In the meantime, he actually picked up a job for a particular blue ship. As Wind helped them have a place to stay, kind of like a little secret hideout. The next day, they managed to get on the ship. So that's where we're going to start. All of you got your rooms all set up, and you end up back on the deck. Keys waits for all of you, and he looks. As you know, well, we already departed, but before we go further and see, there's some things I must tell you. It's going to be dangerous. So, if you want to turn back now, we can get you a little rowboat, and you can go back. As you see, the city is not that far. It may take you a couple hours, depends how strong you are. Now, the captain has asked us to go look for a couple of things. And this is the reason why your pay is good. Now, if we do find some things, it will be divided, so think of it as a bonus. But I'm going to emphasize, it is going to be dangerous. There are pirates on these waters. There are things in the ocean. And our first stop, well, we need to get some more things, but also do some trade goods. So, Are you still all with me? He looks with his one eye to each and every one of you guys.
Magpie's just gonna shrug.
Nope.
It's better than back there.
No backing out from me?
Wouldn't be the first time I've faced danger.
Nix would nod.
Are the seas be ours for the taking?
I elbowed Victor.
Oh, apologies. I was just working on accent, that's all.
Hmm.
Leslie nods, but she's also kind of waving back and forth a little bit. All right. And he will look to the other people, and they all nod in agreement. All right, Meg. Is that so? Of course. So right now, take the day into the night. Tomorrow, all of you start work. And the ship is off. Beautiful seas and the clouds behind. If y'all look to the sides, you might see a dolphin or two. It's nice. Free. Some of you have been on ships, but this one in particular is quite different, unique. Even if you look down, the deck is blue. The sails are white. You may wonder how and why is the ship blue? On the first day, do you guys want to do anything?
Yeah, Victor would like to do something.
Okay. What would
So
Victor like to do?
Victor would he'd mosey his way down towards the cooking area,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd look to see if there's any symbols or anything suggesting he might find some food that is to his liking around here.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay. You look around, and you do see Cookie. He's working. He looks like he's definitely making some food. There's some things that that's drying. And as you kind of look around, almost disappointed. But then as you turn, you see a cabin or a cabinet, which is odd because for some reason it felt like it wasn't there, or unless your eyes didn't adjust to it. But you see a cabin with a rose symbol on it.
All right. Victor just takes that information in for the moment and doesn't mention anything to Cookie. Just moseys back up. Hello, Cookie. Goodbye.
You kind of glance around. Bye.
All right, good. Might have something to eat after all. And he just kind of goes back up to the deck, and that's pretty much what he does.
Okay. Anybody else?
Magpie would like to explore the ship, just trying to get a bearings, trying to figure out where things are. Observe how Glenn and Meg and the other crew that's been on there for a while, how they interact with the ship.
Okay. Give me. I want 3 perception checks from you. This is you're gonna look. The first one's gonna be the crew. The second one is going to be, looking above deck, and the third one will be below deck.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Nice. As you look, the first person, of course, you see is Meg. She's at the wheel. She has something in her hand that she keeps looking at. It you assume is a compass. Sometimes she will she'll lick her tip of her finger and kind of put it up in the air as the wind adjusts, and then she will seem to knock on the rail in front of her, in front of the wheel, and then the sails will start to kind of move towards that, like towards the left. She knocks on the left, goes to the left. She knocks on the right, it goes to the right. Gale, he is above. You hear him whistling. As he kind of just, seems to just do a lookout. And Cookies, Keys, he's just kind of like walking about. He will pull out a pipe and he will start to kind of smoke it. So that's the crew up there that you see. As you kind of like look around the ship for the second time, you fellow people that you're with, are doing whatever they're doing. I would say this is going to also be with the perception check with the new people. You see the female dwarf, kind of like she's pulling out a piece of paper and she looks like she's drawing something. The halfling is petting the cat, and the two males, they seem to like talk to each other, kind of like in their own kind of corner in their own little world kind of thing. So you assume that they know each other. Looking around, you've been like between you and Voren. I mean, Voren definitely knows about ships and stuff. You probably occasionally, go to the docks. You would know weather worn on ships, and sometimes they need to, be fixed and upscaled and all that stuff. This looks like a brand new ship, just brand new from top to the bottom, or top to what you can see. As you kind of go below deck, you remember Keys kind of like mentioning, like the different plaques and stuff. And you start out kind of going down like where the rooms are. And, you see the different names above. And as you keep going down, you kind of notice that this is a very long hallway. And at the end, it says above one of the doors, it says bathhouse. That's what you see right now.
Lovely.
Anything else?
I mean, other than exploring, that's mostly what she's going to be doing, trying to get herself used to the ship.
Okay. Anybody else?
Voren would spend however long it takes him rearranging his room to his liking. He'll arrange it one way and be like, no, that doesn't work. And he'll move the bed to another side. It's like, ugh. Until he's a bit happy with whatever he's looking at. And then he would do something similar, but to Magpie, but instead he's doing it more in a admiring way because of how much he's heard about this ship. He's just gonna like walk around wherever he's allowed to, and just take it all in because he's heard so much about this thing, and now he's living here.
Yes. Yeah, no, you take a look around. Like I said, ships too, because you help, carry stuff for other people aboard, and there's always wear and tear. But this here is just kind of blows your mind how new it looks. Um, and of course, blue. It's a blue ship.
Yeah,
And
and I think that's something that he uh take a mental note of. Not the color, but more the condition of it, because he's been hearing about it for so long that he knows there should be some uh actual wear and tear to some of this, and
exactly.
it's like,
I
what
mean,
the hell?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, since you were a kid too, hearing this and seeing it, but only from like, 50 feet, 75 feet away, you could never work on it, basically.
Mhm.
And occasionally, like when you're looking around, you see the crew, Gale eventually, Gale, yeah, he will, Glenn, not Gale, Glenn, um, would actually come down from the nest above and kind of like help adjust some things or move some ropes and stuff. You do kind of see Celeste, like she's standing up, but she has her eyes closed, and then she will open them, and then I'm going to go rest, and she will head um, down below.
I see. I'm not gonna stop her because she she doesn't feel good, but
Mm-mm. She hasn't
I'll
slept.
I'll make a mental note of it. Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, Nyx will unhide his wings and fly up to the crow's nest area. Not doing his best not to get into Glenn's way, but just sitting up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I imagine that you kind of like fly up. The winds are not too bad where, you have to force, but you understand how to fly. Um, and it's like a comfortable. It's not like, oh, I need to, go straight up. You kind of gently go with the wind, and you manage to kind of go up there. And Glenn kind of looks at you, huh? Faye?
Very to be specific.
Been to the Feywilds. It is something.
They're a wonderful place.
I mean, you live there, so you know.
Nah, nowhere you live is ever going to be perfect.
True. But where I went, there's rainbows everywhere.
Oh God, you went to their side.
I mean, there was rainbows everywhere. Like, even on the ground. Have you ever been there?
Seen it, never been to it. Not my cup of tea.
Oh, it was kind of nauseating.
Exactly.
He kind of like shivers for a moment. Anyways, well, it's good to have you and your crew, your friends, your companions, your.
Look, if the one down there, the Lord knocked, if he ends up doing anything stupid, I'm not responsible.
He kind of looks. Oh yeah, he's told me something about him saying something about pirates. We're not pirates. Don't
Yes, when we
ever
got
ever say that out loud,
when we got
especially
that
in
room,
front of
he
Captain.
claimed himself one of the. He wants to be a lord of one of them.
Oh, well, don't let the captain hear that at all.
No. White sails clearly not involved with them. That's a term you don't use.
Hmm. Well, that's my warning to you. You could tell the rest of your your friends.
They'll listen or not? Probably not.
I mean, there's no way. How do I say this? The only way to be off of the ship is the ocean. So hopefully they know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Brick has told him not to say it. And then
That's
made
good.
faces, I'm pretty sure. All made faces. Hopefully he listens.
That's good. Well, I'm going to manage some of the ropes below. Feel free to stay up here. And if you see anything, just yell.
Will do.
And you see him like literally grab one of the ropes to swing down and land gracefully below.
Yeah, Nyx is just gonna sit up in the crow's nest like a child having fun in the wind.
Anybody else?
Minerva. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
You can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Euphemia kind of does the same thing for like kind of what Warren does. Gets herself more comfortable in her room, putting her stuff around, and she would kind of just like go back up on top deck and start playing her violin because like that makes her happy, and she's in a new space. Like she's been on a ship before, but not actually like really to enjoy it.
Oh yeah. When you played music, you would see Meg kind of tapping her foot a little bit, and Keys just making. There's a chair that he's sitting and just making some ringlets. And it's kind of unusual because you would assume the wind will take it away. But when he does these puffs of smoke and it's like rings and then there's like different shapes, it kind of is there for a minute and then the wind will take it away. And it almost seems that the music that you're playing, it kind of goes with the little smoke rings. And Glenn will, when he finally makes it, he kind of like seems to nod with the music. Anybody else?
Minerva would just explore the ship, trying to get familiar with it, and then when she's done with that, just go lean on the side, like the railing, just looking out over the ocean, like nice soft smile on her face. She seems like it's definitely not the first time she's been on a ship.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's for people who have been on ships before. Each ship has its own, crew. And sometimes the crew can be a lot, especially on deck. For this big of a vessel, you guys would imagine there should be more than who you see. And it's almost feels calming because even ships can have like a little stress or, there's so much going on and they kind of tell you to get out of the way or, do not do this, do not do that. Or do not go down here, do not, whatever. But they are allowing you to freely move around, to look around. And if you were to, explore even below, there might be a door that you can't open. And that's it. But other than that, for people who explore, the names above certain things, it will change. Like if you wanted to find the kitchen, the signs above that would said, down below to the guns or whatever. All of a sudden, the kitchen right above it, this sign would change. But all of you have probably explored down the hallway where your rooms are, and there is kind of where it says the bathhouse, and that sign does not change.
Wait, so the rooms on the ship change positions?
Not the hallway, but when you go downstairs,
Mhm.
he has told you like, I think there was like the kitchen, there's down like below deck, which he told you don't go there. It's really nothing. And that door would not open. But and then there's one that says like to the guns or to the cannons. Sometimes they will start changing.
Okay. So the one to the kitchen remains kind of stagnant. Is that what you said?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last thing that Victor wanted to do. So he saw the symbol that he
Mhm.
saw. So he would be quite interested in who is partaking in that cabinet.
Mhm.
So he would scurry back to his chambers and close the door. All right.
Okay.
And he poofs out mist. Mist. I've got a very. You're not going to like this idea. You're not going to like it at all. He's like looking over his shoulder, making sure no one can hear him.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn you into a little spider, a very little spider. And I want you to be on a mission for me. You understand? And he starts placing out like the candles. And he starts casting the Find Familiar spell, but to
Mhm.
change the form of mist into a black widow spider that would sit on his thumb.
When you say spider,
Mhm.
you probably have never seen an owl huff and puff before.
Oh, I know you're not gonna like it, but it's the only thing I can think of, so that you can spy on this cabinet for me. And I promise I'll change you back right after.
You see Mist eyes roll.
Yes, I know. But if we get this mission done, we'll know who might be like us on this ship. And it's important to know. I can't just go out to everyone saying, "Hey, do you have some blood?" I have to kind of keep it secret. Father would kill me. But anyways, you have to be a spider. And so he starts muttering like an incantation and takes roughly, I think it's like an hour to change the
Mhm.
shape.
Yeah.
Okay, so once she changes into shape, he has her kind of crawl up his cuff.
Mhm.
And then he'll kind of sneakily but nonchalantly make his way towards where Cookie's at.
Mhm.
Hello. And he's kind of looking
Hello?
around.
Yep.
He's looking around for a place where he could put the spider to keep an eye on the cabinet.
Okay, so when you go in, the cabinet's on the left-hand side. In front of you, you see basically like a chef's kitchen.
Hmm.
And it's very clean. But near where Cookie is, he's like, further down from where you're at. He's like at a stove and there's like this huge pot. You see a barrel full of oranges.
Victor remembers, don't eat anything orange.
Yes. But on the right-hand side, there's like a table, and there's another cabinet, probably, for where your little spider can stay.
Can kind of hide.
Yeah.
Okay, so Victor just kind of like yawns, "Oh, how you doing, Cookie? It's nice to meet you." And he puts his hand up on the cabinet
Mm-hmm.
and he hopes that, he kind of telepathically is like, "All right, crawl and find your way to a hiding spot."
Yep. She makes her way off your hand,
And then Victor's
gives you a little tiny bite, and
Oh!
goes up. It's not enough where it's like, she's like, I know this. I know you deserve it.
Victor's just like plays it off and, "Oh, well, Cookie, do you have any wine or anything of that nature around here?"
Yeah, what kind of wine?
"Oh, just, some regular wine. Whatever you think is good."
He points to the cabinet next to the symbol with the rose.
"Oh, can I just get it or do you serve me?"
You can get it, fine.
Okay, so Victor's going to accidentally try to open the other one.
Okay.
One with the rose on it. Oh, this one,
Okay.
Cookie.
The one next to it.
Oh, all right. So did he open the door like anything? Did he see anything? Like he quickly opened it?
Yeah, there is in this cabinet you see rows of different bottles. You also see food. You kind of notice that the temperature kind of like it's like almost like a refrigerator, so it's a nice cool temperature.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you see bottles of wine and you actually see food.
All right, let me just close this one, and I open up the other one.
And then you see all kinds of different wines too in this one.
All right, I'll just grab a bottle and a glass and pour it and put it away.
Mhm.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Cookie. I appreciate it. We're heading up on top of the.
You do.
Okay, and as he kind of walks out with the wine, he just telepathically, like, all right, keep an eye out. If you see anything at all, anyone go into this cabinet, I want you to
Mhm.
find out who is, you know what to do. Let me know. And then he goes up to the top of the deck. And that's it. That's it for it.
Have you seen Charlotte's Web? The
Yeah.
cartoon.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You know how when Charlotte's kind of like is laying down?
Yeah.
Kind of. Yep. That's what she's doing right now.
Okay.
Laying down, bored.
Is she going to be bored out of her mind for a little while?
Yep. All right. Anybody else? Nobody else? All right. So throughout the day, as you guys are getting adjusted, making sure that you're not seasick or anything, night hits, and everybody's invited for a meal together down below. As you'll walk to one of the doors, it actually says dining hall as one of the words change. As you enter in, it is a beautiful dining hall fit for a king and a queen. The food there is set up. You definitely could tell that Cookie knows how to cook. Feel free to sit anywhere. You do see this beautiful chandelier made out of crystals. On either side of you guys, like the walls, it looks like windows so you can actually look outside. So what do you guys do?
Magpie is going to get a seat closest to the door.
Mhm.
Like she always does. She looks like everything looks pretty fancy, right?
Really fancy, yes.
Gonna move to sit on her hands.
Victor will kind of speak to the group. Hello, everyone. He'll kind of look to Voran, and he'll look to Euphemia, Magpie, Nyx, and Minerva. And he'll just say, hello, good day. Is everyone find the ship suitable?
It's a ship. There's no way off.
That's true.
Not my cup of tea, but could be worse.
Well, I can't really say the same. This is kind of a dream come true, to be honest.
I'm quite fascinated with it.
It is quite nice. I'm actually surprised how beautiful the ship is. I have a ship chartered to Felu from my hometown of Dark Harbor. When I came over here, I didn't use the portable. And it's a very nice ship from my hometown. But honestly, this ship is fabulous.
Well, there's definitely some magic going around with it, though.
Yes, definitely. Has anyone met the captain yet? I haven't met them.
They said she comes and goes.
I'm wondering who's sustaining this magic, if it takes any concentration at all.
Not necessarily.
Just then the chandeliers kind of moves a little bit and you hear the crystals clinking together.
That's curious.
I
Yes,
wonder if it has an intelligence of its own.
it's possible. There could be various enchantments and things on the ship, various power sources. Would Victor know?
I would say yeah. You know some things that that people, I mean, will take years to build. And to put magic into the ship, or there's certain wood out there that can hold magic, but haven't really like looked closely into what could hold this.
Yes, any of the things you said are possible. Either one of you. So I'm not really sure. It could have taken a long time to build this ship, though, I would suggest.
Oh, it is a ship. They do take time.
Yes, well, a magical one, even more time.
Yeah, what I find most interesting is the lack of crew, to be honest. But I guess it's a magical ship. Doesn't need one.
You know, I have
Did-
noticed that as well.
Did notice Meg, I believe. The navigator? She knocked on the railings and the mast moved. Could be part of the reason.
So what exactly did they hire us for then?
We're going into dangerous places to get something they're looking for.
They obviously need an expert crew for something. That's us.
Right, but not ship duties, which worries me a bit.
Celeste finally makes her way down. Oh, this is quite beautiful. And then she will sit.
How are you feeling? You looked a bit off earlier.
I didn't sleep at all. So I was quite exhausted. But I
see.
slept, so a little better.
The seas don't bother you at all?
No, I've been on ships before. That's how I get around. Oh, once in a while I'll take a portal, but ships are good.
Well, glad you got some rest.
She nods and smiles.
I did want to, while we're all here, just kind of apologize for the last minute decision to just alter your lives. I know that you didn't have to join, but I didn't see another option.
The way I look at it, something's keeping us together. It would be inevitable. Whatever wants us to stick together and find out where these other people are, they're gonna make sure we stick together. No use fighting it.
It was the
Fair
safest
enough.
option, honestly, for them. Moving around, they were going to go somewhere else. Who knows where they were even going to go? And search for her, so the best bet is a little ship. Well, it's a really little ship, but a ship moving around, at least for a little while.
For all we know, this is where we're supposed to be going to find the rest.
She has a point.
It scares me a little bit. Are you talking about fate?
Perhaps.
Doesn't that scare
Don't
you?
know.
Just a little fate?
Not really.
Hmm.
Don't know if I would call it fate, but there's definitely a will involved.
There could be something guiding us. It doesn't necessarily have to be fate.
Well, I suppose as long as I'm able to change my destiny to whatever I see fit, I'm perfectly fine with it. He smiles.
Warren would kind of nod softly, kind of playing with the straps in his glove and his gauntlets and such, just a little nervous.
Do we have food at this point? Is it like on
Oh yeah,
the
no,
table?
I mean, there's food on the table. You guys could pick it off. It's very gourmet.
Euphemia has been eating the entire time while
Yeah.
we've been talking.
Yeah.
So is Minerva.
So it's like, I mean, there's
That's
the there's
all
fish,
Nyx has been doing is just eating.
there's fish, there's different vegetables. You know, if you wanted some wine, there's some wine there, or water, or even like some juice. There's tea. So there's all kinds of different things before you. Victor,
Mm-hmm.
when you pick up the wine, you take a sip. It's very familiar.
Hmm. He's very intrigued by this, but he doesn't let anything on. Does it feel satisfying to him?
Yep.
What the hell? Actually, no. You would hear him say "What the hell" to himself. What the hell? This is my favorite wine.
Mhm.
Oh, it's just my favorite orchard wine that I used to get back in what was the place called? The Silver Stag. They must have picked up some bottles. Yes, they must have picked up some bottles before leaving. I love it. It's delicious. Would you like to have some? Of course. Well, it's very good. Is there a bottle of it on the table, or is it just in my cup?
It's just in your cup.
Ah, okay. Well, then Victor quickly drinks the rest of it down. Delicious.
Well, Euphemia's gonna indulge in some of the wine too. But she likes white wine.
There'll be white wine there.
Is there any kind of mead?
There's mead.
Okay, Minerva would be drinking some of the mead.
Victor's curious. He'll try some white wine as well.
Yeah, it's actually quite odd. Like, if you had a favorite dish, like even from when you were a kid to now, like you see it on the table. And of course, like if you had a favorite meat or wine or whatever, it's right there. Even Victor, when you taste some of the food that that you're used to, it has a hint of what you like.
Wait. Put the food down, everyone. Don't eat it.
And
Haven't
Warren
you-
was about to reach to like salmon that was on the table. It was like,
Don't
What?
eat it. Take a look at the
Why?
table. Do you see anything that is your favorite?
yes, that's salmon.
Yeah.
Yes, I have stuff that's my favorite.
I don't
So-
see what the problem is.
Yes, haven't you ever heard of someone luring someone in, for the last meal? They have everything that's your favorite.
The chandelier seems to move almost giggle-like.
Victor, what are you
I don't
getting
think
on
that's
about?
what's going on.
It's almost too good to be true, honestly.
I think you're
You're a
reading
magic
into
ship
this.
and you're questioning the food?
Victor going on this rant, Nyx just reaching over, grabbing a turkey leg and taking a bite out of it.
So good.
But as he
It's
says
like-
that, as Victor says that, and Nyx reaches to eat something, Vorn would withdraw and wait to see if anything happens to anybody else to see it.
She's been
Minerva's
eating this
already been
whole
eating.
fucking
Yeah,
time.
same with
Yeah.
Euphemia. Euphemia's been eating this entire
So-
time and she's completely fine.
So
It's
yes,
just-
they have been eating. Even Celeste has been eating. And nothing's happened. There's nothing.
Vorn.
Even people like the group of people that came, or the 4 people that they're sitting kind of like away from you guys. They're enjoying their meal. Nothing. Eventually, the rest of the crew comes down and they sit down. Either like with each other or some of them were kind of alone. They start eating.
So I would just reach towards the salmon and be like, "Damn it, Victor! I already have trust issues."
Listen, Voren. Sometimes things are too good to be true. We have to always second guess a few things, you know.
Victor,
What?
I think you're reading into this a little bit too much.
Just wait until we come to some sort of adventure later down the road. Everything's so good to be true. They were knocked out and in cages somewhere.
I've been in a cage before.
You have to question these things.
Have you ever been locked in a cage like that?
No, but I know people who have. And Victor will wink.
Oh my god! No way!
Victor, just enjoy the food and your wine. It's all right.
All right, I'll enjoy it. Fine.
Oh, I have to add a stream marker to that one.
It's okay. At that point in time, Nyx would be reaching for something. Just a fruit that's so abstract it clearly isn't from this realm.
Yeah, you see it.
Mm-hmm. Victor, do you want some of my wine? It's kind of a mix between white wine and red wine. It's rosé.
Yes, pour me a little. I'm curious.
She'll pour him a little bit into his glass.
Okay. You smell it. You take a drink of it, and it tastes like rosé. Not what you're used to or your favorite.
It's still very
tastes
good.
like rosé.
Yeah, it's very good. I like this wine.
It's a good balance between the red and white. Sometimes white is too sweet.
Hey, Meg, they're getting used to the food.
What does that mean?
Glenn is kind of like sitting. He's leaned back. He has one foot over the chair. Yes, they're getting used to the food. Can you just sit normally? No. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Have a conversation. Glenn bites into an apple.
No. You don't get away from that easily, Glenn. What does that mean? They're getting used to the food.
Yeah, Voren would have
He's
like a
you.
fork full of salmon almost in his mouth and just kind of pull it out. Until the question is answered.
Glenn will take another bite of his apple. Okay. Cookie cooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the ship knows what you like.
But what's the point
That's
of Cookie cooking?
He's still cooking, but the ship is doing it equal. I don't know. Talk to the ship.
It's probably telling Cookie what to make.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Oh.
That's close enough for that.
All right.
Magic ship,
Glenn.
remember, Victor.
Sorry, you know, Glenn, those stories of when things are too good to be true, there's usually something nefarious behind the scene.
Oh, yes, always.
Yes. I want to. Victor wants to roll insight to see if he picks up anything nefarious off of Glenn.
Go ahead.
God damn it.
Yeah, when he says always, he gives you a wink. No, I mean he's telling whatever the truth.
Yes, you're right. Always. And Victor will just drink his wine. He'll just look. All you see is his eyes. He's just looking around.
They're just like shifty eyes.
Shifty.
Glenn, you're making them paranoid.
You're
Already
just
was
making Victor
paranoid.
paranoid.
It's only him, to be honest.
See, it's only him.
I'm
May
the,
kind of rolls her eyes.
I'm the survivor of this group. Just so you know.
Yeah, Vorn
Ma-
joins in saying,
ma-
yeah, only him. And he like questions the bite he's taking.
Did you finally take the bite?
Yeah, I took the bite.
Oh, it is so good. It like melts in your mouth.
Yeah, so it would be like raw salmon, like sashimi, that Vorn loves from like working in the docks.
Hmm.
This entire time, Magpie is just watching everybody eat. She doesn't really grab for any of the food and is continuously sitting on her hands.
Are you right? Meg will
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of,
fine.
you should eat something.
But why do you want her to eat something, though? Magpie might be the only survivor.
Meg will look at you.
That's not what-
Do you think we want to kill you?
I think
No, I don't think that necessarily.
Do you,
But I
Meg
would
will
not.
get up. Do you think?
I don't know. I'm starting to think.
And you see, like, there is no wind in here, but her hair is like moving like if there was wind. Huh?
I think she might want to kill you now.
yeah.
Why? For questioning potential food?
Maybe
No.
you're being disrespectful, Victor.
I mean, apparently you haven't heard of the ship that's a merchant ship that we sail across even dangerous waters. And we hired you all to help us, well, help the captain find some things. And if there was extra stuff, we will, divide it with all of you. That people want to be on this ship.
I know people want to be on the ship. I'm not saying anything ill about the ship. It is my nature as a wizard to question things. And I'm sorry if that offends you, lady. I apologize. I'm not saying you tried to kill me. And also, people cannot take jokes, I swear.
Maybe you're just
Uh,
not very funny.
It's not sounding like a joke.
Very well, I'll just sit here and not say anything if that'll make you happy. Here, I'll be like Magpie. I'll sit on my hands.
Mm.
Vorn would like cover his mouth to hide or to cover a laugh.
There, good. See?
Minerva just looks between the two of them, between Meg and Victor, and then just slowly takes another bite of her food.
So, what are you having, Minerva? Quickly trying to change the topic.
Roast chicken.
Hmm.
And potatoes.
It's good.
It's very juicy chicken. Seasoning is spot on.
What kind of seasoning?
I don't know. It's just delicious.
Not much of a cook, I guess.
Not really. I more survive off of rations and things that I hunt and then cook over a campfire. And tavern food.
Doesn't sound very thrilling.
What do you mean? I've had many a great adventure.
I'm not saying that, but I mean, just surviving off rations. Ugh.
I mean, not just rations. Like I hunt, or well, would hunt, and like forage and whatnot. But I'm not the best cook.
That's all right. Not sure I am either, but
Well, I don't know about you, but
Neither
I'm a
is
wonderful
Victor.
cook. We did a great job cooking breakfast the other day.
Yeah, you did a great job, Victor.
I appreciate it. Magpie wouldn't know, though. She didn't eat anything, as usual.
Magpie, this is going to be a very long trip if you don't eat. Or
Hopefully she
maybe a
eat when
very
I'm
short
hungry.
trip for you.
I'll eat when I need to.
Leslie will get up and she will pick some rolls and some fruit and she will leave.
Who did that?
It's Leslie.
Hmm.
She didn't touch whatever's in front of her, but she just picked some stuff like around. Glenn kind of looks like he's checking her out, and then he gets a roll in the face. What? Don't be rude. I was curious of what she didn't eat whatever in front of her. Jeez, get a roll in the face for trying to look. Okay.
Vorn would continue eating his food and just make a comment to himself, but not like that anybody can't hear. He'd just be like, geez, we're a functional bunch.
So, how long is it going to take us to get to where we're going? Couple of days?
Meg will kind of look over you. Depends. Could take us a week or two.
All right. Well, where's the destination? Do we have any idea yet?
Yeah, we're going to find Crescent Island.
Ah, Crescent Island. Wonderful. Don't think I've heard of it, but it sounds like an
Mhm.
adventure.
Yes, it is an adventure and a half for that. Glenn kind of chuckles.
Why do I
And
get
this is
something you
why
are telling me?
I'm up in the crow's nest.
What can we expect from this island? Do you know?
The key thing is to find it first. Sometimes it moves.
No, that must
Yes.
make things difficult.
Yeah. I think it's plain a joke, but once we get to it, then everything will be fine.
Is there docks there? Like, do people live on this island?
Yeah, that's where we're going to drop up some stuff, trade goods and stuff. So yeah.
How do you travel back and forth to an island that moves, though? That seems complicated.
Yes and no. It's very tricky. It's like, when you were a kid, you ever played tag or hide and seek?
Yes, I was very good at it.
Okay. This island's really good at it too. That's why it's not on any map. Ever. Because it moves.
Interesting. Seems like a good island to hide in.
Maybe. Anyways, I'm gonna go get back up and probably sail for another couple hours and yeah, go to sleep. Something. She looks frustrated.
Frustrated with the crew, or like all of us, or with the
This
task at hand?
frustrated. You don't know. Yeah, she just looks frustrated. But she does leave.
Well, I appreciate the meal, but I think I'm going to go above deck and get some air. And Victor will kind of get up, looking kind of pissed, and walk upstairs and just hang out on the deck.
It's a beautiful, clear sky. You see the moon out. It's not a full moon. I'd say it's like a half moon. On the barrel, you see that fat black cat still sleeping.
He'll go to the other side, to like the port side or whatever side's the opposite of the cat.
Euphemius notices like he was upset and kind of follows, just like, everything all right?
Oh, did she follow him? Upset?
Yeah.
Up to...
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I just get so frustrated with that magpie. I swear. It's like
I understand your frustration.
I really don't get it. She always comes with something snarky, something of that nature.
Does her snarkiness bother you?
Yes, it's insulting. I don't like it. And I didn't start it either. I was trying to be very polite, ask questions, things of that nature. I've been very polite, yet for some reason there's always a problem. I don't like problems.
These problems you can't solve.
Yes, exactly. I don't know. Maybe it's me being outgoing and, my usual self. Maybe it's something she doesn't like or care for. She always has something to say about me.
In my opinion, she doesn't seem like a people person. In
I know,
general.
but she doesn't do it to any of you. It's only me that she does it to. She must despise me for some reason.
No, I think she's done it to me. At least once or twice.
Well, one of these days she's going to catch a fireball in the face.
Let's not start with the fight. I'm sure that there's going to be something.
No,
We're all
you're right.
still new to each other.
Yes, of course, but like a little bit of manners, a politeness. You don't have to. I don't rag on anybody else unless I get it from them first. I don't say anything to anyone that's impolite. I have manners, of course. I get along with you very well, Voran, Minerva. I get along with them pretty well. Nix, I don't know, he's threatened me the other day for some weird reason.
Well, if you remember, I believe he did say that he didn't want cause unneeded violence.
Well, no, he said you have to come through me for something of the nature, suggesting that he would step up to me doing something. I was just putting forth a potential solution. So he obviously I don't know with him just yet, honestly. But Magpie, number one person I dislike at the moment. Nix, I don't like him because necessarily I might like him. I don't know. Not yet. I don't like people who tell me what I can and cannot do, if that makes sense. If I make a suggestion and we all decide to do something, sure, it's fine. But hating on me for making the suggestion in the first place, I don't like it.
That's
It's disrespectful.
understandable.
Yes, thank you. But I will calm down eventually. I just don't like being embarrassed in front of new individuals.
Well, I do want to make the point, trying to rag on you or anything, but sometimes when you talk, it doesn't sound like it's a joke or being polite.
Well, when do I not sound polite? Okay, I was given as a potential warning for the food that could have happened, by the way. We could have been under a spell, then been all knocked out, woken up somewhere, completely stranded. And what would we be able to do about it? We'd have to fight our way out, of course. But it's important to not just take everything at face value, to investigate. Be a little suspicious, right?
But it's also good to just relax.
I suppose in the future, if I think something suspicious, I'll just whisper it to you.
You can, but I do think you need to give an apology to Meg.
To Mag? No way!
Yes.
Why would I give an apology to Magpie?
I said Meg, not Magpie.
Who's Meg? Oh, Magpie. Meg. Yeah, yes, I can do that, of course. That's. I did not mean to insult her or her food. Of course,
But
yes.
she cares a lot for this. And to her, it felt like you were kind of being disrespectful in your hesitance. Which I understand, I do. But I don't think we need to worry about that extreme scenario on this ship.
Possibly, but this is the first time I've ever met these people. Are you not in the least suspicious of the circumstance? This is the perfect ship, everything you want. It's with the people we have no idea who they are. It's a little suspicious. Am I right?
My dear, you're talking to a monster hunter. I know something is up. I get a gut feeling. I don't get it here.
As soon as you were saying those words, you kind of feel the ship kind of seems sinking.
What are we? Do we both feel that?
Mm-hmm. Then you hear, "What's wrong? Come on, dancer. Come on. What's wrong?" And you kind of look and you see Meg up at the wheel.
Oh. So with this, that Victor he'll instead cast a message and talk to Euphemia through a magical message. Did you sense that the ship kind of started sinking when I said those words? You can reply to this message.
He could hear her chuckle. It's just like, yes, I did.
And then he'll quickly cast it again. Doesn't it upset you that a ship is responding to our words? Isn't that a little, concerning?
Just proves the fact that it's sentient. And it has thoughts, consciousness.
I think there's quick cast message again. Well, that's a little concerning that something could be watching over me at every single time, even when I think it's private. God.
Like he said earlier, if you give the ship respect, you'll be fine.
Very well. Victor will rub the ship. I'm sorry. Hopefully you understand that I'm saying these things because this is new. Do you understand that? I'm not meaning to offend you. Ship. Dancer. I believe dancer.
A moment goes by, and then eventually you feel a little bit rise of the ship. You assume it understood.
Yes, sorry. I'm not implying in any single way that you are doing anything maleficent or horrible or anything. It is just in my nature to ask questions. I plan on living a very, very long time. You understand, dancer? So if I do not question certain things, then, I could end up as fodder, like some idiots out there in this world. But I
Did the
apologize to
rest of us, sorry, Sin.
No, go ahead. I had finished.
Did the rest of us feel that sinking of the ship?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Even
So
Glenn kind of looks around. Go ahead.
Horn would have ran up to the dock when he felt that. It's like, what the hell was that?
It's my fault. If you see Victor at the top.
Yeah.
It's me. Come into the circle of friendship over here.
Circle of friendship?
Yes.
What happened? Was there a wave?
No, there was not a wave, but we discovered something very important. Euphemia, tell them.
We were having a conversation and kind of solidifies theory on the ship having consciousness. And as we were talking, the ship liked what we said, and basically we're apologizing for it.
It's what I said, honestly. Euphemia didn't say anything bad. It was me questioning things.
With the remark of me that I am of my profession, probably was not. That was bad on my.
I see.
And Victor will quickly cast a message to Voran to his mind. And he'll whisper to himself, yes, the ship has consciousness. It can hear things that we say, and it could potentially know everything about us on this damn ship. You can respond to this message.
I just say that makes sense. I say it out loud because I have no idea what he just did or how it works.
You just
Yeah,
think, Voran. You just think. And he'll cast the message again. You just think what you want to say, and it'll come to my mind.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Your baby is just laughing at the two.
How long does it work for? I say out loud.
No. I have to cast the spell again.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have to send it to you, and then you can send it back to me, and then I have to recast the spell.
Right. We'll practice
Yes.
that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I understand your hesitation. I do. It's I kind of felt bad for just dragging everyone here because not everyone has the same lifestyle that I've had or the same exposure. To me, like I said, this is a dream. To everyone else, it's new and terrifying. Especially to you. You probably never had to deal with something like this.
Well, it's not the ship that does it. I've been on ships before. It's just not knowing, not having the control, if that makes sense. Not having
Yeah.
No, it doesn't
privacy.
make sense. But think about it this way. A ship like this being on the seas and being so famous since I was a child, there's a reason why people are dying to be on the ship. It wouldn't have kept its reputation if it was something bad.
Yes, of course. I understand that. And don't get me wrong, I'm very excited to be on the ship. It's just my nature to question things like this. That's all. I want to keep us all safe.
I understand.
And if I fail in that duty, then that's my fault, I feel like, right? If I feel like I'm the one who's fairly magically gifted among the group. Of course, a couple others, but if I slip up and lead us into a trap, then that's my fault.
That's not just your burden to bear, Victor.
Yes, you're right, but I don't know. I don't want anything. We're just getting started. I want to make sure we're very fruitful and successful, and we are able to do what we want to do. And I question things like this. Yes, I understand. Maybe I didn't do it as politely as I should have, but I got this thought that this could be a big trap, and may have offended the person. I will go apologize.
You are overthinking.
Well, that's what I do. I've overthinked for
Sometimes
many years
overthinking
now.
keeps you alive. I understand.
Yes, well, that's all I do is think.
But there is also times the overthinking causes you too much anxiety about it, and similar situations like what just happened in the dining hall can happen.
I will say though, sometimes just watching gets you more information.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, observing is a very important part in figuring things out. I agree completely. And I suppose I could sit back, but I was worried in the moment that we might be eating something that was too perfect and therefore a trap. But it's not, most likely, right? Everything's fine. It was just me being a little anxious, I suppose. And then we have Magpie on top of it all insult me and make me look bad.
Well, just how this might be different for you, it's different for her. And everyone has different ways of reacting to certain things.
Of course, but I would like people to know I'm not a punching bag of sorts. I will bite back if I have to.
I get it.
Yes. So let's
Just
all be nice
try,
to one another, right?
try not to let her words bother you.
Yes, but one
I
person
know.
shouldn't have the right to say all the words and the other person doesn't get any sort of comeback. You know?
I mean, that is fair. Just try not to. I know it's easier to say to than done, but don't let it bother you.
Alright, well, I'll just pretend that it doesn't bother me.
I'm not saying that don't letting it bottle up and pretend that it doesn't bother you. Maybe at some point you and Magpie can talk it out.
Well, we were supposed to have a talk the other night. Then things got really busy.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the carnival tent, she, like, shoved her shoulder into me. That was rude.
Oh, yeah. You started mentioning that.
Yeah, she came in, shoulder checked me, and left. I don't know why she has it out for me. And decided to use physical violence against me. But, you know, I have been the bigger person thus far. Beside these little comments that I have to get her back with.
I will say one thing,
Mhm.
Victor. Sometimes, for some people, it's easier to keep others at arm's length, no matter what you have to say to do it. Some of us grew up with nothing, and nothing makes us comfortable. Just think about that.
Yes, so your nothing makes you comfortable. Sure, by all means. If you want to have nothing, enjoy nothing. I don't care, you know, honestly. But the minute you come into my space and start making insults and doing things, physically touching me in that way, the shoulder checking me or whatever, that's over the line.
Yes, I
think
agree.
you-
That's not okay. That's something you need to talk about.
I think
What?
a very long conversation be had between the two of you. Maybe with that conversation you'll find a middle ground.
I don't think so, honestly. If you try talking to Magpie, she despises me. Maybe you could talk some sense into her.
I don't think she likes much either.
Well, how about you, Voren? She might like you a little bit. Talk some sense. Go have a conversation with her. Say, look, Victor does not want any trouble. He just wants to be left at peace. No comments and things of that nature. If she doesn't like the way I talk or the way I do things, fine. But don't embarrass me in front of her company.
Very well. I'll give it a shot.
Thank you. I would appreciate that. But anyways, I'm cooled off now. I'm not as angry.
Good. I am going to take advantage of the bathhouse and use it before I go to. You all have a good night. That's when Euphemia will walk downstairs, start heading towards the bathhouse.
And before your conversation ends, the rest of you that are still eating in the dining hall, when Voren left, Glenn will be looking around. Somebody must have pissed off the ship. And he continues to eat. The rest of the people there, too, kind of look a little worried, but seeing that he's eating, they kind of still like chit chat with each other. What are the rest of you guys doing? That'd be what? Yeah, Magpie, Minerva, and Nyx.
Magpie is going to keep an eye on people as they're eating, trying to discern anything she can, especially with the 4 people that were brought on, because she's still a little worried, especially with Celeste.
Mhm.
Just what type of people these are.
The female dwarf, she's sitting by herself. So is the halfling. They're kind of apart. But occasionally, kind of like, "Hi, how are you?" like talking. The both men are, sitting next to each other, having like a private conversation. That's what you see so far.
Can I tell what they're talking about, or are they like just quietly talking to each other?
They're quietly talking to each other.
After a little while, especially since she's not really eating, she will get up to her feet and push in her chair. Any suggestions on what to do if one is not ready to turn in, and any work need to be done?
Glenn kind of looks up to you. I mean, if you want to start, you know, sweeping the deck, that's something.
Well, it's better than nothing. Where would I find a broom?
Once you leave, go ahead and think broom closet. One of the signs will change.
Understood. And she'll head out into the hall and start thinking about broom closets.
Yeah. As soon as you leave, you kind of look around, and one of the signs change to broom closet. You open it, and there's buckets, and there's brooms, and there's mops, and like cleaning supplies in there.
She'll grab a broom and start making her way up to the top deck.
What is Minerva and Nyx doing?
When she felt the ship sink, she would have gone to look for somebody who might have known what was going on.
I mean, Glenn's right there, and you would have heard him say that
Okay.
somebody must have pissed off the ship.
Okay.
Mhm.
She'd probably just go back up on the top deck and look out over the water again. She really seems to enjoy being out on the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, you see Voren and Victor and Euphemia kind of having a conversation. Eventually, they break from the conversation, but it is a beautiful night, and the moon's out, and it makes you comfortable.
Yep.
And eventually you see Magpie starting to clean.
She'd walk over to Magpie. You need any help with what you're doing?
Sorry, wasn't expecting that. Just stuffed my face full of pizza. Magpie will look up. I mean, if you want, I'm just doing this to keep myself occupied.
Well, I don't mind helping.
There might be some more brooms down in the broom closet if you'd like.
Right. I'm trying to. Oh, yeah, the room's changed. Right. Okay. I'll go look for one then.
She heads downstairs to look for the broom closet.
And you see it, yeah. You see the words above it says broom closet. And you open, and all the supplies are in there.
Alright, she goes ahead and grabs what she needs and then heads back up to help Magpie.
Nyx, what are you doing?
Nyx would have, after finished eating, would have stood up and just, yelled over.
Food was delicious. Thank you, Cookie.
He nods, and you see a smile, like a grin.
Then he would make his way back up to the top deck and fly back up to the crow's nest where he is most comfortable.
Okay. Euphemia, you make your way down the hallway. You notice something on Magpie's doorknob. Like there's something there. as you pass it, heading towards the.
I stop for a second to see what it is.
It looks like a handkerchief, and it looks like it's like there's something in it, but you would have to untie it to see what's inside.
She's not gonna like mess with it. She'll just be like, all right, and just kind of continue.
As you open or gather your things, for the bathhouse, and you open it, and it takes you a moment because I can almost picture you opening it and closing it, kind of going, did I just see what I saw? And you open it and you go inside, and it's basically a beautiful hot spring with a waterfall. There's different levels of kind of like it's basically like rocks, of course, but there's different tubs. And there's also privacy where you can go and have your own, soak and stuff. And the more you think about it, it's like, maybe I shouldn't think about it, but am I still on the ship? Or am I somewhere else, kind of thing?
I will just say in response before I go into one of the private pools, it's like, you are amazing. And I just say that to the ship and go about doing my bath, my routine.
As you kind of as you say that, it seems like the waterfalls kind of move back and forth a little bit, like the water kind of moves. And you see almost kind of like if there was like a light there, it changes to pink real quick and then changes back to normal.
Oh, did I make him blush?
You might have made the ship blush.
Oh.
But yeah, it's the water's nice and comfortable. Everything is there that you need. And it's like if you had a stressful day, man, this water is nice. All right. Anybody else want to do anything before they turn in?
So as we broke up our conversation that we were having, I'm guessing like around the same time I would see Minerva going to go get her broom. So before she came back up, I would approach Magpie. And as she's sweeping, I really want to say she missed a spot, but I won't say it. And just say I come in peace.
She'll stop what she's doing and kind of look at him leaning on the boom a little bit. I have a feeling that I'm in trouble or something.
Not really in trouble. I guess I'm here as an ambassador of peace, I guess. Victor really wants to make amends. He feels that you guys have gotten off on the wrong foot, and I don't necessarily think that you are very compatible people based on our backgrounds, but he doesn't want there to be such a harsh relationship between you two, especially if we're working together.
She'll have a look of confusion on her face. I don't have anything against the man.
He doesn't seem to think so. He thinks you're a bit abrasive and that you you're quick to show your dislike for him.
That's a bit news to me. But then again, I guess I am always abrasive. But
I
it's
did try
nothing.
to explain to him that we're all different people and we react to things differently. And he fully understands that maybe some of the things he says can be misinterpreted by others. I know that you understand the type of person that Victor is. I think we all do. And I think because of that, it's important to try to camouflage with each other more than we usually do. Because this ship is going to get very small if there's conflict among us. He just doesn't like being disrespected in front of others. And he feels like you may have done that a couple of times.
She'll stay silent for a few moments.
And in your defense, maybe you felt that way about him as well. And maybe it's all just a matter of perspective. I know that you're not going to want to discuss this with him because it's probably not going to work that way. Maybe not at least yet. And I know that people like us have grown up, and sometimes being alone is better because you don't have to worry about anybody. And in our line of business, watching your back when you're trying to watch your hands, it's not a good thing.
You could say that again.
But we're in this
less
together.
likely for yourself to get hurt.
I agree. But just like the guild has always wanted to provide for you, even though it's not your thing, we're there. And on this ship, I'm here. And you're not alone. And it's not just me. It's the rest of us.
Whatever he thinks is going on, I'm not trying to start anything or cause problems. I'm just trying to get through the day. If he finds me a problem, I will stay out of his way, and I keep my mouth shut around him. If that will make things easier for everyone, I will do so.
I think you just both need to give each other a chance to get to know each other more.
I don't think he wants to get to know me, if I'm honest. Seems he's already made up his mind, and I don't blame him.
But based on that comment, it seems so have you.
Actions speak louder than words. He's not here
Very
discussing
true.
this with me, you are.
Well, he did say that you probably felt more comfortable with me. And that's not exactly false, is it?
Not necessarily, but at the same time, if someone has a problem with me, I'd rather hear it from their mouths, not someone else's.
Very well. I'm sure it'll come when the time's right. Voren nods and gives her half a smile, and in doing so, like with a sleight of hand, and I could roll if you want, he would leave an apple on top of a crate for her.
Yeah, go ahead. Do sleight of hand. Okay.
It rolls
You
off. It wasn't very smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. It just kind of rolls. But it's there. It's not like gonna land on the ground or anything, but it's there.
She's gonna
You
pretend
don't-
like she didn't see it.
You need your energy. And he walks away.
She'll watch him for a moment before looking at the apple. And then goes back to Sweet Bean.
Mhm.
But she'll keep an eye on the surroundings to see if anyone else is watching before picking up the apple.
Nobody's watching. You can pick it up.
And I would do so. And then go back to Sweet Bean.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think
wanna do before?
Victor, at this point, like, so after they broke from conversation, before even, I think he would be downstairs near the cooking area to collect his spider. So he'd
Mhm.
walk, but he would just snap his fingers and have it disappear, and then snap his fingers again and have it like on his cuff, and he'd make his way to his room.
Okay.
And once he'd go down the hallway, I guess, open up the door, and go inside his room.
Mhm.
He would think to the spider, "Have you saw anything?"
The response is no. Just big guy cooking, moving around the kitchen. Glenn went down there. Just they had a chat, but nobody touched the cabinet.
All right, you've suffered long enough in this form. I'm sorry for putting this on you. And he'll set the candles out, and he will turn her back into. I still need you as an owl for now. I know you're frustrating. Do you want to go back to your old form or not?
The
If you go back to your old form,
spider, like literally goes flat.
do you want to go back to your old form?
It's up to you.
I know it's up to me, but I'm trying to be nice. I suppose they know you with the owl. Yeah, you'll be the owl again. You like it. It's your second favorite form. And then he'll do the ritual to turn her back into an owl.
Yeah. Kind of ruffles a little bit, feathers.
And I think in the meantime, like, he just opened up his spell book. Hello? Spell book?
Yes.
There you are. We're on a ship now, I'm sure you've noticed.
Of course, hearing all the conversations and everything.
I know. What do you make of it all? Exciting?
Somewhat, as long as I don't get wet.
No, I promise that won't happen. Well, unless there's some sort of emergency and we have to go underwater. But the spell book will be fine. It's magically enchanted because you're enchanted. But anyways, do you want to introduce yourself to me? Tell me your name. I'm sure you know me by now.
Not yet.
All right. Well, in the future. Well, all right. I'll let you go back to sleep or whatever it is that you wish to do.
Yes, planning to take over the world.
Yeah, of course. One step at a time. One step at a time.
Oh,
We have to become Pirate Lord first.
Oh, yes, that.
I was just joking about that, honestly.
Oh, I heard that gentleman.
What gentleman?
What is calls him keys? Keys? Is he a key? He's not a key.
No, he's not a key. No, he's an older gentleman. I think he's the quartermaster.
Yes, I think you should watch what you say.
I know. Surely they're not going to get mad over a joke. Not going to be no pirate lord. I couldn't. You think I could be dingy like a damn pirate? No, absolutely not. That's way beneath me.
Yes. Some of them are actually clean.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, I suppose if I could be some sort of pirate lord that just lords over, many crews, that'd be perfectly fine. But I ain't missing any teeth or anything of that nature. Need to keep them sharp.
Yes, I see what you did.
hmm Well, anyways, it was nice talking to you. Hope to
Mhm.
have more conversations in the future. Also, I want you to think about some things. This ship is magical, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Is it spying on me right now?
I don't know. Ship, are you spying on him right now?
Mm-hmm.
For a moment, the curtain moves.
It is.
That's something.
Yes.
I mean, think about it this way,
Mm,
right? You put me down somewhere,
yes.
and I'll see all and hear everything.
I know, but I'm not
So,
going to leave you alone. No
no,
way.
no, no. No, I'm just
Mhm.
giving you an idea. So this
Oh, all right.
ship is always watching and listening.
Yes, right. Hmm. Okay, well, if that's the case, that's the case. I do like the ship. It's a wonderful construction. I believe its name is Dancer.
Dancer, wind dancer.
Wind Dancer. I think it is Wind Dancer, yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I guess I have to get used to people seeing me sleep. Or a ship seeing me sleep. That's
Well, if you
strange.
think about it, I did hear, don't steal from each other. So just imagine if somebody did steal, the ship knows who stole it.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine all the conversations that are had that are told to the captain right now. Ugh,
It's true.
I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Mhm.
Amazing engineering. All right, well, ta-ta. I'm going to
Mhm.
go get a bath before going to bed.
All right. Now there is a bathtub in here, or
Mhm.
unless you want to go to, the other place.
I think he's still kind of processing everything for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still kind of weirded out that the ship can see and hear everything that he does. So he's just going to stay in the tub. He's just going to stay in his room and clean up and then
Okay.
go to bed.
All right. Anybody else?
You said there was a bathhouse?
Yes, there's a bathhouse.
Yeah, Minerva would finish up with helping Magpie and head down to the bathhouse to take a quick little relaxation, little R&R.
Yes, as you gather your things, you go down the hallway. You do see something on the doorknob of Magpie's room. And as you open the door to the bathhouse, it's like you almost take that moment, just like what happened to Euphemia. And you walk into this beautiful hot spring with a waterfall. There's like the private tubs, and the tubs are open. I think Euphemia still might be in there, or maybe she left.
She would basically be packing up her stuff.
All right. So you see her, and she's like getting ready to leave.
Her hair is like completely down. Her hair is like really long.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to intrude.
Oh no, you're all right. I was just leaving. The baths are lovely. They're really
Yeah,
fun.
looks like it.
Hmm.
This is really nice in here.
They have some really nice soaps too. I would recommend it.
Okay.
There's some
Smell
good
all
scrubs
fancy.
too.
All right, I'll definitely have to give them a try then.
Well, you enjoy and have a good night.
You too.
She
Rest
would-
well.
That's when she would walk back to her room and go to sleep.
Perfect. Yeah, you rest. In the hot spring, any muscles or anything that was tight, you just relax. And you can, linger in there for a while. The rest of you, I'm assuming, are getting ready to sleep too.
Yep.
Okay.
Nyx would 100% fall asleep in the crow's nest.
Okay. Magpie?
Magpie will head down to put like the boom and stuff away. Does she notice the handkerchief on her?
Yeah,
Sure.
when you put away the stuff and you head down the hallway, you do notice the handkerchief on your doorknob when you walk up to it.
She will take it off and try to see what's inside of it.
Yeah, you take a peek. There's 2 rolls. There is a sweetheart and a plum.
Would I have noticed that these were the things that Celeste had taken when she had left the dining room?
My question to you is how focused would you have been in your surroundings? I know that you're sitting on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
You might have seen, her gathering some things, so you probably assume it's her.
Does the handkerchief look like it would be one of her handkerchiefs? Or.
Yeah.
She will rub her face, realizing that people are trying to make her eat. And realizing that she may be worrying people about that.
Mhm.
But she'll kind of wrap up the food and set it inside the door when she walks in.
Mhm.
And just kind of try to process a lot of the things that had happened that day.
Yeah, of course. All right. As you guys get ready to sleep, and Minerva, get out, go to your room. It's quite comfortable, relaxing, and some of you have that secure feeling. So, I would say next couple days, people have showed you the ropes, basically, how to clean the ship, help in the kitchen, um, scrubbing, doing all that stuff, helping with the sails. Victor, you get your hands a little dirty. So, I would say next few days, you guys do this. Anything you want to talk about with each other? Look, I mean, it's been beautiful weather for the couple of days so far.
Not anything that I specifically want to do, but it would be obvious that she's giving Victor a wide berth.
Okay.
I think Victor would seek out Vorin to find out the results of the talk.
Yeah, likewise, I would have probably tried to tell him.
Yeah, I guess Victor one day will meet Vorin, I guess, at his room. He'll knock on the door.
Yeah, one second.
Yes, it's just me. It's Victor.
He opens the door and immediately checks to make sure that he didn't dirty it. Hello, yeah, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just wondering, did you manage to, have that conversation with Magpie? How did it go?
Oh, yeah, of course. Come in.
All right. And Victor will kind of wipe his feet and head into the door. And he'll close it behind him.
Grab a seat.
All right.
It went well. Okay, honestly, she doesn't seem like she has any animosity towards you. I know
What?
that there's a lot. Hear me out. There's been a lot of friction. But I think she says that she has kind of an abrasive nature, and honestly, I guess it's kind of like one of those cats that she likes a lot, where like you back them up into a corner, they'll probably hiss and try to fight the way out. But it's nothing. I don't think it's anything that you're doing. It's more your difference in personalities and lifestyles. She's very kept to herself, and when with our group, she's suddenly being put into a situation that she has to interact and has to work with others and has to clash with these all these different personalities she's never had to. And I think it's a bit much for her. But she says, honestly, which surprised me a little bit, she says that if she has an issue or somebody has an issue with her, she would prefer to talk to that person. And I told her that the reason that you didn't was because you thought she'd be more comfortable talking to me, because she's known me from before.
Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, I have
So-
no issues going to talk with her directly. I don't know. It just seems like lately she's just had a big problem with me, and I thought this would be a way to ease the tension a little bit, but I'll go talk to her directly if I have to. If it's served better.
I think it might be worth it.
All right. So
With
I'll
the
do that.
understanding that, you know, you're from very different lifestyles, and sometimes things you say or do can can be a bit contradictory to her lifestyle.
Oh, you want to talk about living lavish and being
Yes.
noble like myself.
Yes, there's a lot of things about you that I find entertaining. She doesn't.
I see. All right, well, I'll go have a chat. Any advice besides that?
My only advice is to try to see things from a different perspective. We were in the streets since we were young. And sometimes the other half can just come across a bit smug. No offense.
Oh, I had no idea I come across as smug. I always consider it just confidence. But
I think it's confidence. But
yeah,
you
that's
know,
pretty much
if you're
what-
waving around your lordship to somebody that sometimes doesn't even have a place to stay, you can understand why that might be a little rough.
Have I been waving it around towards her?
No, but just like the lifestyle, I guess.
Oh, I suppose, yes, it could be a little. I suppose it could be shocking for those who haven't been privileged to the wealth and prestige that comes with my noble birth.
Indeed.
Yes. All right. Yes, I know how to handle this. I'm actually quite a talker and diplomat. I've handled a few diplomatic issues with for my father in the past. I believe I can resolve this issue with her directly.
I think so too. I think it's just a matter of different people being thrown together and being forced to get along, you know?
Well, honestly, I just took it as she just didn't like me. And I couldn't figure out why. And then it started to make me frustrated. And, well, frankly, it pissed me off a little bit.
I can understand. I think it's more of the, if you keep somebody at arm's length, then they can't do anything to hurt you.
Oh, I see. So I think I understand. Don't have keep people
Don't have
away.
friends.
Don't let them in. But because the pain of letting them in and something happening is more than that. So it's better to just not have friends at all.
That's the way I see it.
That's the logical line of thinking. All right. Yes, I think I could do that. All right. Well, I'll go have a chat with her. I appreciate it.
Yes, good luck.
Thank you. And Victor will kind of make his way down the hall after leaving Brick's room, and he'll try to find Magpie.
Victor, just for your knowledge, you would see, like in Voren's room, you would see on like a desk, just kind of like neatly stacked rows of coins, just like placed out evenly, and everything just that screams OCD, and it's so obvious.
Okay. He really likes to stay organized. I can't fault him for that. And Magpie, then Victor will, I guess he'll try to find Magpie, wherever Magpie may be.
Unless she's sleeping, she's most likely on deck trying to do something to keep herself busy.
Okay, I suppose you'd see him coming up the deck. Ah, there you are, Magpie. Do you have some moments for a quick conversation?
I suppose so. I have nothing but time, honestly.
Wonderful. I would like for this to be in private as it could be. Considering the ship can hear everything, which is fine, but I wanted to, wherever you feel the most comfortable is fine with me.
Well, you're the one who wants this private.
Sure. Would you like to go to my room? I'll invite you in.
Lead the way.
Of course. And Victor will head down the steps to his room. He'll unlock the door and open it. Inside, you'll see, looks like a pretty bare kind of room, very clean. You'd see various scrolls and things on the table and various books that he might carry with them. Well, would you like to have a seat? I'll sit as well.
She'll look around. How nice is, like, the furniture?
I suppose it's as nice as the ship would let it be. It wouldn't be like overly fancy. It would look probably very similar to your furniture in your room.
I mean, it's nice furniture.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it's not the same as Magpie's room.
Well, if it's mine canon where I could have it like whatever I wanted in the room, if it does that, then it would be fairly lavish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if it's mine canon, then you'd see dark leather seats, Victorian style with those fancy buttons. You'd see that. You'd see a table, probably be like a rich mahogany with like a red cloth over the top of it. You would see a fairly lavish bed, probably with a canopy. So it would be a very fancy, and you'd see a red carpet that goes from the door into the middle of the room. And then you'd see candles placed in various places. You'd see a bookshelf on the left side, the table on the right side. Then in the middle, you kind of see like a circular area where he has kind of like sigils drawn on the ground to where he does various rituals.
Are you quite sure you want me to be sitting down on your nice furniture?
Yeah, of course. Of course, that's what furniture's for, Magpie. And plus, I want to have a very honest conversation.
Alright, didn't say I didn't warn you.
Well, you're not going to
She'll
ruin the furniture. Perfectly fine.
make her way over and take a seat.
And then Victor will he would be holding the seat out for her. It's up to her if she would allow him to do that.
She'll give him like a strange look, like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, it's.
But she won't say.
Oh, okay.
She won't say anything. But like, that's the type of look that she's giving him. Like she doesn't understand.
Oh, okay. Well, when she sits, he'd take his hands off the chair, and he'd go across to the other side, and he'd pull out his seat and sit down. All right. I brought you here. Voran told me that he had a talk with you, which I asked for him to do. I feel like we've had some unnecessary tension as of late. I feel like a couple of things I've done have made you angry or frustrated, and I feel like a few things that you've done have frustrated me. I feel like it's starting to get into this cycle of frustration. Do you agree or do you disagree?
I disagree.
All right.
However, I can only speak on my behalf.
Okay, all right. Well, let me tell you why I think I've arrived at the conclusion that I have. So I feel like there's frustration building because it seems like out of the group that the majority of negative comments and things have come toward me from you. Like the other day when one, you didn't like what I was doing in the circus tent, and then you bumped me really hard. And then there was a couple of other comments previously. And we've had some back and forth because once I get a bad comment, I'll say something rude in return, and I probably should not do that, honestly. And then last night while we were having dinner, saying that I probably wasn't that funny. You said it at least I took it in a very snarky way. It upset me because I felt it was embarrassing with the company that we had. So if I have this all wrong, completely wrong, I want to know why. And if you don't feel that there's any issue, then perhaps there's something wrong with me taking it that way.
I never had an issue with anything that you did in the circus tent.
Really?
And to be quite honest, your joke, and she'll do air quotes, last night wasn't very funny.
Well, part of
In
it was
fact, it was
joking.
kind of disrespectful, in my opinion.
Sure, of course. But, well, how is it disrespectful to question the things that you are given in a completely new environment? Do you not do that every day?
I typically keep my comments to myself when I'm being a guest in somebody else's home. It's not
Yeah.
very often, but one tends to get more flies with honey than they do with vinegar. And I know that's the shock coming from me for saying that.
Yes, it is quite a shock, honestly. Because I believe I've gotten nothing but vinegar from you for at least a few adventures now.
That is not my intent.
All right. Well, if my comment about potentially the food being some sort of trap, do you not think there's any sort of validity in that? Would you rather me just not say anything at all and let you fall down that trap if it should continue?
Warning other people is one thing, but you didn't seem to let the matter drop and then try to pass it off as a joke.
Well,
When it
no,
was
no, no.
clearly upsetting a host.
Honest, no. Let's remember who brought that back up, right? Let's get the facts completely straight. I was said a few things about it, and then Glenn egged me on about it. He was like, "Oh, well, there seem to be enjoying the food." So does all the fault lie with me on that, or are you remembering?
I'm not a very social person, but even I could tell that he was trying to tease you. I did
Sure.
try to say as much.
Yes, and you did not take what I was saying in return as a tease.
When it was upsetting Meg?
Well, how am I supposed to know it was upsetting Meg? There was no sign of it whatsoever until it upset her. and it was obvious she was frustrated with something, potentially me. You can't hold me at fault for that. After I was egged on by a member of the... Well, then why are you continuing to say that I'm at fault for it?
I'm not saying that you're at fault for it. I'm just saying that my comment about you not being funny, nobody took that as a joke. We didn't think that it was funny.
All
You
right.
asked me why I said that, and that
Very,
is why.
very well. I will take it as you have said. But I'll let you know that I don't appreciate comments like that. I've done anything that you've said, anything that we've done since the beginning of this adventuring party has only been a response to your behavior. I hope you know. You come off rude in one way, and I just don't take rudeness. I mean, I suppose I could just turn the other cheek. But I don't feel like you have the monopoly on being rude. How come you can do it and not get in trouble for it? However, anything I say, oh, it's Victor, it's Victor. I don't think that's very fair. Regardless, I want to squash it. I want to end it. If you want to continue any comments of snarkiness towards me, I'll just let it roll over until I get very frustrated, and then I'll continue back with yours. Unless we can come up with some sort of dual respect for one another, at least as a working relationship.
Well, as I've told Warren, if my comments are causing you issues, then I will remain silent.
Well, I don't want you to remain silent. I wish for manners and a little bit of decorum, that's all. I suppose if I'll adjust my behavior too. If I have to just not say anything that I'm thinking to people, I'll stop saying what I think to people. Honestly. And if it gets us into trouble, so be it. I'll be the one over here laughing at the end because, well, it is what it is. But if you have no issue, I have no issue. It's perfectly fine.
I don't have an issue with you, Victor. And maybe we have gotten off on the wrong foot.
Yes, I think we've gone off on the wrong foot a little bit. I want to course correct it before it becomes a bigger issue.
However, I have been on my own for the past 23 years. If I come off abrasive and rude, one, you have my apologies, but two, well, I think that speaks for itself.
Sure.
Is there anything else?
No, I just wanted to say I understand if you have been on your own for the past 23 years, right? I understand. I've not. I've been with people. I've been noble society. I've been in various other societies. But if let's just say, all right, if I used your excuse of I've been alone for 23 years to constantly just belittle people, would that be an excuse? I don't think so. I just think we both need to do better.
Other than the comment of not being funny, when have I ever belittled you?
Well, when you ran up to me and shoulder checked me in the circus tent, you came up and invaded my personal space and hit
She'll
me.
roll her eyes and start digging in her pocket before pulling out the silver vial and tossing it to him.
Wait, you
I believe
stole from me?
you asked me to show you what I could do.
I did not.
This is all that I'm good at.
Interesting.
To be surprised, I'm surprised you didn't notice it missing.
Oh, I noticed it was missing. I just not think that it was you that took it. I thought I had dropped it.
She'll kind of give him a look like, are you really that naive?
How am I naive? We were working all the time. I did not expect a thief to steal something that I've kept close to me for such a time. Well, I'll
I wanted
consider
to
it.
prove how good I was.
Well, he'll shake it. Is it still full?
Oh yeah, no, she never opened it.
Never opened it? Okay. All right, well, I will give you credit that you are good at what you do. But don't ever steal from me again.
I don't plan to. Didn't plan to steal it in the first place. Gonna give it back as soon as you asked about it.
All right.
Like I said, just trying to prove what I'm good at.
Yes, you are quite gifted. I will give you that. I had no idea you took it whatsoever. And for that, I'm not angry. Would have been if you would not have given it back and I would have discovered it. But you did bring up the point I did ask what you're good at. Point taken. And then Victor will kind of smile a little bit, sit back in his chair a little relaxed. He's not as tense anymore. All right, well, thank you, Magpie, for having the conversation with me and returning my belongings.
Thank you as well.
Of course.
If you do
Yes.
continue to have a problem with me,
I'll let you know.
I may be abrasive,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not tough.
I know. I can talk to you one-on-one. I'm not afraid to talk to you, my dear. I was just simply wanted to make things more comfortable for you in the light of diplomacy. Trust me, I have no problem talking to anyone.
And I can appreciate that. What I mean to say is, I'm not perfect. And I will most likely make another snarky comment that's gonna piss you off. I don't know of any other way to be.
It's fine. As long as
So-
it doesn't get into the point of physical violence. If now I know you're just going to be snarky for the sake of snarkiness, I hope you can take it in return. Because I'll return it right back to you. I love a little bit of banter.
I'll keep that in mind.
Wonderful. I just thought, I can't believe you stole that from me. That was very, very skillful. That was in my inner pocket.
Well, how to find the hardest to get to place, I suppose.
Yes.
Outside pockets and pouches are a little too easy.
Yes, well, it definitely proved your skill. I was none the wiser. I thought I lost it chopping a tree down. Or overseeing chopping a tree down. I didn't really take my hand on the axe.
Well, surprised that you didn't mention it sooner. That's all.
Well, we were a little busy. I was going to do it the other night until that, what's his name? The guy from the collectors came in, kind of disrupted everything. This is really the first time we've had a chance to sit down.
That's fair enough.
Yes. Well, I appreciate it. It's a family heirloom of mine, and I'm glad that you've given it back.
Well, I'm glad for that too. But maybe you should try taking. Well, you're a magic user. Can't you put an arcane seal or something on it to keep track of it?
Oh, potentially in the future, but some things are. Magic takes time to do, time and many much study. Unfortunately, I do not have the spell to locate such an object as of yet, but hopefully one day I'll collect it.
Be careful with it then, if it's an heirloom.
Oh, I will, trust me. I will be very mindful of my belongings in the future.
Mm-hmm. She'll get up to her feet.
Let me show you
and-
out.
It's okay. The door's right there.
Of course. Well, take care.
You as well, Victor. And she'll head out and go back up to the deck to find something else to do.
I
Okay.
think Victor would just mumble to himself about her having the audacity to steal from him. Oh, and he would just sit there kind of impressed and a little pissed at the same time.
All right.
I love it.
Okay. So, within the next week, you guys have duties on the ship. Like I said, either cleaning the top deck, uh, helping out in the kitchen, or cleaning the kitchen. There's been moments where some of you have been on the side of the ship, cleaning the ship while still moving. That's fun. During the week's time, like I said, everybody is working hard, and if you want to talk amongst yourselves, feel free. If not, you hear, I think between Gail and Nyx, Nyx because you're helping up there, or I would say, why did I keep saying Gail? Glenn, um, would announce storm clouds are coming. And you all see these thick, dark clouds coming towards. And Meg is frowning. Of course, I have to go through that. As you see, it's very eerie. Some of you have probably witnessed this when you have been on the ship. The crew has told you guys to at least stay in the middle, don't go to the rails, just in case the waters can be violent. Then oh my gosh, Glenn will announce that there's fog coming in. The fog is thick. And then you kind of feel the ship getting a little bit slow. And it starts to get thicker. Almost to the point where you can't even see in front of yourself or your hands or anything. As the waters you hear moving back and forth. Fog lights up just a little bit. Glenn yells down, "Meg, slow. I think I see a shipwreck." It's up to you if you all want to gather up top. What do you guys want to do?
Magpie definitely would be up top, trying to help out in any way that she can.
Okay.
Yeah, same with Voren. I mean, the whole time he's probably trying to prove that he's a capable crew member. So yeah.
Keys will look over. Meg, stop the ship. Captain. You hear the doors open. And you hear boots. A tall figure starts to walk behind you guys. You see... That is not the song. You see a woman and she just puts on her hat. You see this beautiful white peacock feather just emerging from her hat. You see these beautiful trinkets as you kind of hear the movement as it sways on her hat. Beautiful black hair. Yeah, you can't see her eyes just yet. Ruby lips. Tattoos. She has a corset in the white of the blouse. With ease, she stands on the rail like nothing. Keys. Get the boats ready. 2 or 3. Who wants to get on a boat?
I think Victor would cast mage armor on himself.
And
He would get in a boat.
Nyx would be all aboard. All
Yeah.
about it.
Brick would instantly raise his hand.
You feel me? I would too.
So would
Sounds
Minerva.
like everyone's going.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Seems we got some trouble.
Glenn is going to take one. Keys is taking another. And Meg. All of you are going to pick one. So at this point, Keys is going to point out who goes where. Nyx, you go with Meg. Minerva,
Glenn,
you come with
not
me.
Not Glenn.
Magpie, you will go with Meg. Victor, Warren, you go with Glenn.
Fuck.
hate that guy.
Euphemia. You go with Meg. Did I miss anybody?
Did you say Minerva?
Yeah, I say you go with Meg.
So the ladies go with Meg. And Nick.
And Nyx.
Yeah, I think Minerva's going with Keys. And yeah. And Magpie. All right.
Wait, where am I going?
With Keys.
Oh, okay.
The ships or the small boats start to go into water. Or you guys start to get ready. As you turn around to kind of look where everybody's going, you see the captain literally walk off the ship. You do not hear a splash. You guys climb in to the ships or to the little rowboats, and you make your way. There, you see the captain walking on water. As she looks, Glenn, take your boat to the north. Keys to the west. Meg, east. Take a look. I need you all to roll me perception checks.
Oh yeah, I'm great at these.
Oh boy, let's go.
Does everyone need to?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm great at these.
Oh no.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Nyx, this is so foggy. You can't see shit.
I see fog.
You just can't see shit. Euphemia, you are looking. You see some barrels above, floating. There is a hook that you can try to hook and get it closer to you.
Mhm.
Which you can. I'm not going to let you roll for anything because that's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like a regular hook.
like a floating barrel. You just kind of hook it in. There is like a you could see that it's been hit by fire.
Mhm.
And it looks like it's a food barrel. You do occasionally see definitely debris everywhere.
Does it look recent?
What you could tell, you don't know. But you do hear the captain say, this is about 3 hours old.
So it is recent.
Mm-hmm. As she is walking on the water. Let's see. Warren, as Glenn is taking you and Victor, you see some barrels, some floating debris. You also see what looks like some kind of fabric floating, which Victor, it's hard to see a little bit, see some of the stuff through this fog. But the debris that you can see and gather. The fabric itself is black. Did you want to do anything?
Yeah, Victor would first he would say, "Well, we got some sort of black fabric right here. I'm not sure if it's a sail." He would kind of inspect it to see, is it part of a sail? Is there any designs on it? Anything?
What you can't, You just see fabric right now. It's like black. You do have a hook if you want to try to hook it in.
Yeah,
You
yes.
Born.
Yeah, he'll toss the hook out and out in the direction.
Okay. As you are pulling that in, Minerva and Magpie, as you are heading towards your location, more debris. You don't. I think between the groups, you don't see any bodies, which is very odd. But Minerva, you see something glowing in the water. It's floating. It looks like a jar of something. Magpie, as you kind of see this too, but your eyes adjust to something even further. There is something floating. That's definitely a wood piece. There, it almost looks like a body.
I'll motion to Keys and point out what I see.
Okay, he's going to head that way. In the meantime, Minerva, you see this glowing object passing. If you want to try to pull in, you can use a hook.
Yeah, I'll try and do that.
Okay. Going back to Victor and Warren, as you guys pull it in, of course it's heavy and it's wet. There is something there. There is some kind of symbol, but it is too big, so it would need two of you to trying to adjust it to open it.
Warren,
you do so.
You want to help adjust this?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so I would, as he's pulling it in, I'll try to grab it and start spreading it.
Okay. In the meantime, Minerva, you are pulling this this small jar to you. As it glows, as it gets closer to you, you start to see it flicker. As you pull it in, there is something in the jar. It's very tiny. It is very hard to really explain because it stops to flicker. As you see, it's almost kind of like what you could think of a small fairy. But it's almost kind of like a cross between a fairy and an elemental. It's nothing you've seen before. It just kind of like you can almost see the face and the hair and these wings. And the body itself is like almost like swirling like a air elemental. But air elementals have like almost kind of like a fog-like or, wind or whatever. But this, it just seems like there's traces of small different colors in and out going back and forth. Like it's, it's just so beautiful. And it just kind of looks at you very sad-like and then looks towards where Key is going and immediately starts to kind of like hit the glass, like head towards that way. And
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just saying, Minerva looks at it like a little confused and looks back towards where it seems to be pointing.
You want me to go that way?
It nods.
Okay.
She doesn't seem to know what to do with the little thing in the jar.
Yeah, it just seems that's like pointing that way, and as you go towards that way, I mean, Keys is already doing it.
Okay, yeah, so she just follows behind.
Yes, and
carrying this little fairy thing in the jar.
Euphemia, Meg kind of starts to like move the boat around. I don't see anything else. Do you see anything?
Can I attempt to see if there is like any spirits out on the water? Just in case. If yes, there may not be. You said we haven't seen any bodies.
Any
or anything,
bodies?
right?
Correct. Yeah, go ahead and
So
give me a perception
maybe
check.
they're still kind of floating. And
Give
trying
me.
to, maybe.
Yeah, give me a perception check. You take a look, and the sea, of course, is big and vast, but you don't see lingering spirits. Now, you sometimes always have somebody with you,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of look at you and shaking their head like, no. Like they don't even see anything.
This is odd. There's nothing out here. I'm not seeing it.
As, Meg is making like kind of like a wide berth coming back, almost like going near Glenn's boat as they are kind of looking. Finally, you guys manage to open up and see it. And Warren, you have been warned about this. This almost shakes you to the core. You see a red hand. And you know that this is deadly.
What is it, Warren?
This isn't good.
Is it pirates?
Yeah, well, it's worse, I think.
Glenn looks up. Shit. Captain. It's the red hand. Let's get back to the ship.
I'm sure that it's they'll brief us on this, but this is not good, Victor. These aren't just pirates.
All right. Well, this. What do you think? This was one of their ships that has been destroyed? If so, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but what did it?
Oh yes, very good point. I was just going, and Victor would look like look into the ocean, see if he could see anything like underneath them.
But also, that's not the only problem.
Mm-hmm.
The red hand was supposed to have been completely eradicated with, completely destroyed. The Navy was supposed to have taken care of them a long time ago. The ship is not from a long time ago.
Victor just kind of nods.
Nobody gets rid of the red hand, Glenn says.
Do you think we should try to salvage what's ever at the bottom?
It's up to the captain.
Yeah, might be worth quite a bit, but it's not up to us.
All right. Well, I have a particular skill. I can probably make it to the bottom, all right? We'll see what the captain has to say.
The captain walks slowly to the ship as Meg starts to row faster, so does Glenn. Keys is still making his way towards where it was pointed at. Between Magpie and Minerva, you see a very small frame. As you get closer, you see a young boy. He looks like he's passed out, barely breathing. The entity that's in the jar begins to pound on it and tries to get you to get him.
Magpie will look to Keys for a moment, just kind of to gauge his reaction to seeing this small kid in the water.
Get him.
Yep, that's the next thing she was gonna do, is try to reach out and try to pull him in.
You guys can use the hooks to get it closer as you see this young boy just barely just breathing as you get him on the ship or on the little boat. As soon as you get him on the boat, Keys is now rowing.
Magpie will look to Minerva. Can you help him?
I can do what I can. So he's on the ship now?
You guys we're on the little boat, yes.
Oh, on the
so
little boat.
making
Yeah,
your way.
that's-
Yeah, making your way on to the ship right now.
Okay.
The ships or the small rowboats are getting back docked. People are trying to lift you guys up. So Keys is last, and the captain is still looking in the waters, waiting for Keys to get up with you guys. And as soon as that happens, she makes her way up to the ship. And she literally just jumps without nothing and lands on the ship itself. All right, Meg, get us out of here. Hi, Captain. At this point, you do see her. She looks up to all of you, and you see her eyes. And at this point, you're almost back in that cave. The person that was getting up, you barely saw. But a spark of blue, like an amethyst. And she looks to all of you. We have much to talk about.
See, I knew things were gonna happen like this.
Meg. Hi, Captain. All right, Wind Dancer. Let's live up to your name. Get the boy down to the medical bay. Everybody else, below deck. It's gonna be quite windy.
Magpie will scoop the kid up in her arms, start taking him down.
Breck will nod and follow below deck, while looking at everyone else and pointing at the captain like, is she?
Guess we didn't have to go that far to find someone else.
Is the kid all right? Is the kid breathing?
Breathing, but just barely.
All right. I think Victor would take a look out at the horizon before heading down the stairs.
The ship itself, you can almost see just the clouds almost going by, the fog going by. And that last call, get below deck. And the doors close. You guys, depends where you want to go. I know Magpie is going to medical bay, which the words form on top, above. And you enter, it is literally a medical bay. You lay the child, the kid, on one of the beds. The captain looks. Any of you trained?
I am a healer.
She nods. You are still holding the jar as the little, I'm going to say pixie right now, is kind of moving, like pacing back and forth. What do you want to do?
She looks at the. Sorry, I've got a thing beeping at me. 1 second.
It's okay.
Anyways, she looks at the pixie in the jar.
It's like, I'm gonna set you down just for a few minutes.
And sets it. Is there like a little table or
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
Okay, she sets it on the table.
Okay. Yeah, you set it on the table and it just seems to look on towards the boy.
So, do you want me to try and do something to help him then?
That probably would be nice.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he'd like to live. So anything you can do to help?
I'll try my best.
She goes over to the boy and starts trying to assess, like, if he has any noticeable injuries or anything like that.
Yes, you actually notice that when you move his side of his face, his left hand side looks like it's burnt. There is shards on his left shoulder. It looks like he has a broken wrist. And he looks like on his right hand side, it looks like there's blood.
Anything I can do to help?
Well, I'll probably need to start by getting these shards out carefully. If you want to help, just I'll remove them and then you can apply pressure or something.
By the way, I'm terrible at med herpes.
No, it's okay. It's just one of those things. All the stuff is there, so you can start to remove the shards. Do the cold cleanup. If you have magical spells, you can that can help assist. Even Celeste is there, but because you have said that you are, you're a healer, she will also help stand by. Let you Magpie do what needs to be done.
Okay. Yeah, so she just would remove the shards, and then once those are gone, she'd clean whatever wounds that she can see. And then probably use a spell to try and heal what she can.
Yeah. Which spell are you going to
Let me look at my spell list real quick. Probably healing word, but I just want to look at the.
And make sure you have that prepared. Any
I
spells?
do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I think it would just be healing word.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Pick a level if you want. If it's first level, I don't remember how. I think you go up to second or third. I'm not sure. Okay. As you, as you cast your healing word, what kind of words do you say? to heal him.
She would probably chant something in Elven.
Okay.
Just like a small prayer.
Mhm. You start to see some of the wounds start to close. Some of the on his face is kind of closing a little bit. You did do a little bit, so it is helping. His breathing's not as bad, but he's still unconscious right now.
Mhm.
All right. Looks like he just needs rest. I appreciate it.
He's a kid. What were we supposed to do? Leave him out there to drown?
She nods.
Of course not.
Well, when you're ready, and she will look at each and every one of you. Come to my captain's quarters. We will talk. And then she will walk away.
Is the ship moving at this point? Like away from the wreckage, or is it still hovering there?
You can't tell.
All right, well, I suppose this is more we can do for the boy. We should probably go to speak with the captain.
I will not unfollow Victor.
Magpie
rest of you?
will linger for a few moments watching the kid before she follows anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The halfling lady will look up to you. I got this. Don't worry. If you need to speak to the captain, go ahead.
She'll eye the halfling for a moment, but then nod and leave. Stopping in the doorway to give him like one quick look. Like she's a little unsettled seeing a kid in such bad condition.
Mm-hmm.
I think as we make our way towards the captain's, Victor will just kind of start. Well, when we found the boy out there, we found some sort of flag or something.
I found it odd that there was no spirit. Nothing.
It's very
Nothing
strange.
there.
Maybe something ate them all.
That is very concerning if also a spirit.
As we're walking, Brick would just be kind of nervously quiet, like fidgeting to himself as we're walking.
You see you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go. You want to talk.
So she was gonna be like, what's got you all nervous?
Well, there's some sort of flag with a red hand on it.
Mm-hmm.
Voran, he knows a bit more. I'm pretty sure that's probably what we'll talk about when we get there with the captain.
Fair.
He just nods nervously and doesn't say anything.
Also, was that a fairy in the jar? What was that?
I'm not actually sure.
Minerva goes over and picks the fairy back up and
Hi, yeah, I'm back. Okay.
she looks at it.
I don't know. Should I let it out? I feel bad keeping it locked up in a little jar.
Next,
Potentially.
you look over, and this is not any kind of fairy you've seen. Or fae, or anything. I don't know.
Who is that to?
To Nyx.
Never anything I've seen before. I'm from the Feywilds. To speak.
But yes, my cautious nature, it doesn't look like it's a threat and potentially would want to be free, and I understand your sentiment. But until we know more, I don't think we open it just yet.
Do you take the? You took the jar with you?
Who, me?
Minerva? Yeah.
She's holding it right now, yeah.
Okay, so you guys are walking towards the captain's quarters, which now it's kind of odd because at the same time when you're looking at the different door frames, you do not see the words captain quarters or captain anything. But you look down the hall where the bathhouse is, and all of a sudden there's a door appears. The door itself, it's definitely different from what you guys are. I mean, your guys' doors are like just plain Janes, basically. But when you look down the hallway, you see this gorgeous door that on the very the bottom, it looks like tentacles coming out. Then you see a ship, and then you kind of see like the clouds and the moon peaking. That's down the hallway.
You know, this ship amazes me every time. Wasn't this where the bathhouse was?
Yes.
I mean, you look. There's the bathhouse is like it would be on the right hand or left hand side, just straight down the hallway. This door appears.
Well, let's go knock on it, shall we?
As you knock on it, the door opens. You see a grand table. There's different trinkets and paintings on the wall. You see her sitting. There's several chairs where you could pick to sit. Come, sit. Behind, you see a beautiful glass, a window, and you see the ship is moving further away from the fog. The clouds are still out. Come, sit.
Yes, of course. Thank you for your hospitality.
Warren would try to sit next to Minerva to look at the creature.
You see the little figure of the woman actually sitting. She looks more calm. What you thought was wings, Minerva, it's just her hair floating around. You can kind of see, little pair of eyes, the mouth. But she looks on. I am Captain Isla of the Wind Dancer. I already heard of all of you. Thank you. You, she points to Warren and you. Warren and Victor, I believe.
That's correct, Captain.
Yes, Captain.
You found. Well, you found the Red Hands. They like
Vorn would-
doing stuff like that.
Warren would just like swallow hard and nod. Mhm.
That ship was a merchant ship, a vessel. What they like to do is they like to tease, leaving their signature behind, seeming that their ship has been blown up anew. I'm sure that boy will tell us more if he wakes up.
Captain,
Yes.
I don't mean to jump the gun here, but the Red Hand hasn't been seen in how long? Over 10 years? Maybe. What now?
It hasn't been seen over here in 10 years, but in other places, they still attack. The Red Hand
see.
is quite, well, it seems that the Navy that took care of them good. But other parts of the world, they still linger.
That makes sense.
But what I don't get is how they were here. Unless they were looking for something. She kind of looks over to Minerva. See, the Red Hand are pirates. Most deadliest pirates out there. There's a reason why they are called the Red Hand. Everything must be played in blood.
Vorn kind of mouths the same words as she's saying it.
She looks over to you, nods. See, some people will hire them for certain things. Other times, they steal things and take vessels. But don't fear. They won't dare come near my ship. And if so, they have to pay the price. She smiles. To take a breather. I still thank you all for joining. Hopefully Meg will find the island soon. I think all of you deserve the rest of the day off. Also, it seems that we have something in common. A dream.
I think this-
Interesting.
Oh, that would just like we would recognize her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is very interesting.
Whatever the reason behind this dream, we'll have to see. But I still have duties. Remember that. I am sure that we can get more answers on the island. I had to send word to make it hold still. She picks up a paper and she writes something on it. She goes to the window and opens just a small, it's just a small frame of it. And she let go of the paper. and closes it back up. I have work to do. Any more questions?
Yes, I have a question regarding this island. You say it has some sort of answers. What makes you think that it has answers? Do you have more of a dream?
She smiles. Wait till we get there.
All right,
You'll see.
surprise it is. I like surprises.
Captain,
Yes.
do you know what this is? He points at the creature.
She comes around the desk and gets close to Minerva and looks. Never seen anything like that. Almost seems like an elemental, but not.
Well, I know it understands what we say because it told me to follow keys on the ship, and when I asked, do you want me to follow him, it nodded, so it understands what we're saying.
It starts to nod. Maybe the Red Hand was after her. For a split second, you see kind of her backing away from the word Red Hand. And there's your answer. Keep her safe.
Minerva nods.
So, do I keep her in the jar?
She looks at the creature in the jar, just like almost as if asking it, but also not asking it.
Maybe there was a reason why I was in the jar.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah,
But
I
at the same
just feel
time-
bad.
I do too. I wonder if there's anything I can do to figure out. Well, first, let's ask the creature if it wants to get out. See its reaction. Hello,
As
little
you-
creature.
As you say that, it seems that puts her hands up, like looks like pushing the lid.
Oh, so you want to get out?
It nods.
Well, I mean, I don't want to keep it trapped, and it wanted us to rescue the boy, so I don't think it's malicious in nature.
Yes. This goes against every single thing that I am as a being, releasing something that I have no idea what it is. Can I hold the jar and see if I can cast a spell to maybe get some more information about it?
She looks down at the thing in the jar, just kind of like.
I promise it won't be. It's just going to. It's an identify spell, and we'll just see if I can get any kind of information on at least the jar, what it's meant to do. That's all. No harm, I promise.
All right.
She hands him the jar.
All right, so he holds the jar and he tries to ritually cast identify. But he's going to use. I think I have a feat.
Do
Let me look real
you
quick.
have a pearl?
Do I need a pearl for identify?
Yep. You need a pearl worth at least 100 gold.
Oh,
And an owl
God.
feather.
Do I have to have all components or just components that are with gold?
Well,
Because my focus should handle components, right? Like my.
correct. But you need the actual pearl.
Oh shit! I can't do anything as a wizard. No, I don't. I don't think I had a pearl unless I brought one with me because I've casted it before, but it would have used it. No, I don't have a pearl.
Is something wrong?
No, it seems I don't have the component to cast a spell.
And what do you need?
Well, I need a. Let me look. I need a pearl that's. Hold on.
She pulls
100 gold
What?
pieces of pearl.
she pulls off a ring. That's a pearl.
It's going to
Uses.
destroy it. It'll,
It-
yeah.
It doesn't destroy it.
Oh, all right. I'll use that then. He takes it and then he casts a spell.
As you look, the jar is a jar.
Well, it's
There's
just a jar.
nothing. Yeah, there's nothing fancy with this jar.
Well, it's just an ordinary jar. That's all it is. Sorry, not enough information to get from the jar. I don't have any idea what the creature is.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. The captain will
Here's your pearl.
hold her. And she puts her ring back on.
Well, it wants out. Maybe we should wait for the boy to wake up.
That's
the-
a good idea.
Maybe the boy knows why it's in the jar.
Could do that.
Sorry, little creature. It's not that we don't let you out. But we kind of don't until we know exactly what you are.
She sits back down, puts her like she almost like hugs herself, like puts her knees up to her chest, and just kind of waits.
Minerva frowns and like leans down to look at her.
Sorry, little one. I'd like to let you out.
She nods.
Magpie will look over at Nyx. You wouldn't happen to know what this is, would you?
Not an idea.
Oh, it's worth a shot.
Oh, I have an idea. I can. Let's see. Hold on. So I can cast message. I guess it would understand me. Let me link it.
I mean, she's clearly been understanding us.
Yeah, and then it would be able to reply to me, but I don't know if it'll reply to me in their language or their mind. But I guess we'll find out. So Victor will point his finger to the creature and cast message. Hello, little creature. I'm Victor. We saved you. You know this. Can you communicate with me with words?
Tilts his head back and forth, and you just kind of hear a almost like beautiful bells.
Oh, it's very nice. I hear bells ringing, kind of like yeah. It's just it's all I can describe as bells, not necessarily language, or maybe it's not. I can understand it.
Mhm.
All right.
I think your book knows what it is.
Oh, good idea. I can ask. Victor will open his book. Book. Are you there?
No.
I know you're there, book.
Why do you ask me that question?
Well, I wanted to be polite. I didn't know if you were doing some reading or something.
What?
Oh,
What is it?
do you see this creature right here? I'm not sure if you can apparate and see at the moment. But
Yes, there's something there. Yes.
yes, do you know what this creature is? Do you have any
No.
idea? No. All right. What would you suggest about letting it out? I would say no for the moment.
Mm. I mean, to let it out or not to let it out? That is the question.
Yes, it is. Why are you speaking in riddles?
Because you're the one that's asked me the question. So I'm answering as best as I can.
Oh, very well. Well, thank you for your help. Victor kind of closes the book. The book does not know what it is, unfortunately.
Then I think we're going to have to wait, just for
Yes.
everyone's safety.
All right. Yep, I agree.
All right.
Minerva's just frowning, and, like looking at the others and looking at the jar, just a little sad.
Is there anything we could do to at least make it more comfortable?
I mean, we could stuff some grass in the jar. What would ever require us to open it?
Oh, you guys are so
And
bad.
maybe
I
she
was
would
gonna
like
say
a
something.
view, put it back with the boy.
Probably back with the boy. She seemed interested with the boy, right?
I was gonna say something, and I'm still broken over here.
Oh, we should give it a name in the meantime. We'll call it what about Little Bug?
It's not a bug.
Oh, all right. Do you have the name?
Or Belle.
Bell. Oh,
Yes.
yes, it did sound like bells. Yes. Little Bell. I don't know. Maybe little's not right. Maybe chiming bells? Hmm.
I think
Bella?
Belle is fine.
Bell. All right, Bell. All right, Bell. Just a little longer.
Okay. As you guys leave, going back down the hallway, whatever you guys want to do, you turn around and the door is gone. It's vanished. What do you guys want to do?
Victor's going to look
Magpie?
around for a pearl. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, you say you're going to
Magpie's-
look for a pearl?
Yeah, like, is there a pearl that like nobody's using?
Good luck. Magpie, what are you doing?
She's going to go back to the med bay
Mhm.
to kind of like watch over the kid.
Yes, the halfling woman has kind of made sure he was cleaned up. There's like his his shirt's been off, making sure that everything's clean. There's no other cuts or anything. What Minerva did helped. But just in case, wrapped up some stuff on his face, made sure he is comfortable. As clean as much as they could, and he's still breathing. But in the meantime, whatever you guys want to do, I always say another couple days roll by, and the boy is still unconscious. The little creature in the doorbell is kind of there, just sitting wherever Minerva, you have taken on the responsibility of this little creature. If you went back to the med bay to check on the boy, just sitting down, the bell will kind of look on, seeing the boy. A few more days roll by. It's still, the clouds are still dark outside. You guys get right back to the routine of cleaning, helping, making sure, maintaining stuff.
I think as time goes on, I think Femi would kind of like check in on Victor to see if he was okay.
Oh, yes, yes. How are you doing, Euphemia?
I'm all right. Are you okay?
Yes, I had a talk with Magpie the other night. It went well. I got my other vial back. Apparently, that's where it went off to.
She took it.
Yes, she took it. Remember when we were in the circus tent and she shouldered me? That's when she took it, I think.
Mm.
I remember I was angry at first because she'd stolen from me. But she did remind me that I did ask her what she can do. And then she stormed off. I thought she just stormed off, but no, she actually stole that, and I had no idea.
Yeah, she definitely did show you.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. I would have been angry if I wouldn't have said, "What can you do?" But I don't think she'll steal from me again.
I hope not.
No, but I think we've kind of come to some sort of agreement. We might be snarky with one each other from time to time, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
good with that.
definitely a good foot in the right direction, I would say.
Yes, I agree. I agree completely.
But how are you in terms of what we discussed before?
Oh, hold on. So, how many days? Well, yes, that's right. So, remember when we had dinner the other night? I suppose we had it every night.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I eat, it is what I require. So, that's kind of what got me actually. Remember the first day when I freaked out about it?
Mm-hmm.
I freaked out about it because how it was just too perfect. They had exactly what I needed. And if it was just food, I wouldn't have freaked out, you know? It would have made sense.
But you'd notice on Euphemia's face that it's just like okay, like that click of what you're talking about just comes on
Yes,
her
I
face.
couldn't up and just say, "All right, there's blood in my wine here." But you know what else is interesting? I don't want to give you all my secrets, but since we are confiding in each other a little bit, um, out in the world, there are places where people like me can find various things,
Mm-hmm.
and we find that much like I suppose there's certain symbols, things of that nature, where you can find what you need.
Would I know those symbols from my background, DM? Can I do a check about that?
I would say probably not.
No. Okay.
No, because in his world, it is very secretive.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I'm not going to tell you all the details, like describe what it looks like, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But there are ways to get what I require from various places if they bestow these symbols, right? And I noticed one on the ship somewhere, and it confused me. And I'll tell you a little thing that I did. I transformed my familiar into a spider. I had it spied to see if there was another like me on the ship. But she did not see anything.
It makes a lot more sense now why you were spooked.
Yes, yes. I thought it was very, very, very strange because I was like, well, if they have exactly what I need, maybe they are like me in a different way, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe full blood, or there still could be some on the ship, one on the ship, I don't know. Or the ship could just be completely sentient and just give you everything that you require. I don't know the answer to it. It's still a little unnerving.
I'm gonna go with my theory that I think was proven that the ship is sentient.
You know, that much is sure. I'm pretty sure I can hear every single thing that you say, which is disturbing and comforting in some way. But yes, that's why I kind of freaked out a little bit during dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were being set up for some sort of poisonous trap, and then potentially vampires come out of nowhere, and then I would have to talk us out of that one.
Don't think you'd be the only person trying to talk it out if that did happen. If.
Yes. So Victor, would he get like a little closer? So Euphemia,
Mm-hmm.
I know sometimes I come off very jovial. I come off funny. Sometimes I come off a little dim-witted. But trust me when I say that there's methods to my madness sometimes. And if I don't do things without a good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Let's say I made a show down below to gauge their reactions. Because if they were going to, I don't know, capture us, maybe they would have shown their hand a little more. I could tell that they weren't when they were joking back a little bit, but I just continued the ruse.
You are very tricky, Lord Knock.
I am indeed. There's much more than meets the eye. I've had to. I'm very good. I'm usually very good at keeping secrets, but for some reason I want to tell you about some of these. But when you live a life, that's under society, like parallel to society, living amongst people that don't know who you are, things of that nature, you learn a few things. People usually don't expect you if you're very outgoing and very innocent. Oh, he can never do this type of thing. You would never expect it.
You're using it to your advantage.
I do, yes. You see, I'm actually quite intelligent.
I never doubted that.
Yes. I'm actually a little more serious when it comes to some things too. Just outward facing, I tend to lighten the mood, joke around a lot, things of that nature.
That kind of brings me a question. When
Mhm.
you asked me before we left, that was intentional, wasn't it?
What?
You knew, didn't you?
Are you talking about asking you if
Our
I
agreement. Yes.
partially was to see if you were actually hunting me down? I wasn't sure if you were that kind of monster hunter that would try to kill me.
No. I told you before we left. If you became a problem, then yes, it would.
Oh
But you're
dear.
not a problem.
Yes,
You're
yes,
not murdering and eating people.
yes, absolutely. And I was sincere with you. I have been sincere with you and the group thus far.
Mm-hmm.
I've been completely sincere that I wish to see us successful. I wish to see us do the things that we need to do, grow in power, and solve this damn riddle. All these riddles that are in front of us.
And I think in time they'll be answered. Or we'll find them.
I agree. I think we'll find them. Sure. It may not be when we expect it, but part of what I try to do is try to at least make sure whenever we get there, we have some sort of advantage. I don't like being surprised by many things.
Sometimes you can't always have that control. At least not at the start.
Yes, that's true. Well, if there's one thing that I've learned from my father, is you have to think many steps ahead. Many steps ahead.
But also learn to adapt.
That is true, yes. Adapt, overcome to the situation. Sometimes you have to be what people want you to be, or at least appear that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I've played this game. And I continue to play it. And as I learn more about the group that we're with, I'm sure people will get to know the real me, more or less. Even though, like I said, I'm not completely a falsehood. I do, put on a little bit of an act sometimes, but most of the part, I'm genuine.
Out of nowhere, you hear keys. Captain, the boy's awake.
Ah. Shall we gather the others real quick, see if we can go see what the boy has to say?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because it's like, it's almost kind of like message, or in other words, like a intercom. So everybody would hear this.
Yeah, I'll definitely rush down to medbay.
Would
Victor had
Magpie already be down there when this happens? Because she would have been checking in on the kid
I would say
when she
yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah. I would say that you were down there. Minerva, if you wanted to be down there, you could have done
Yeah,
the
she
same
would
thing.
have. She would have headed there to check on it.
I would say, when they're having their conversation, the boy actually will sit up. At first, he would scream and then kind of lay back down as, probably you guys were trying to calm him. Celeste would have been there too. So even all three of you would have tried to calm him down. And that's when Keys would have made that announcement over. So you guys will make your way there. An instant, the captain shows up out of nowhere. And knowing she kind of waits for everybody else. Belle, that's in the jar, she kind of sits up or like stands up, kind of looking as the boy kind of looks around and almost like in a daze as you guys all gather. Captain Isla will look. What's your name? I I was. People just called me boy. That's it. Yeah. Do you remember what happened? Um. I was on a merchant ship. We were sailing, and out of nowhere, we heard a cannon, and it hit. Next thing you know, there are people rushing, and this man looked at me and said that to send a message to this. What's it? Take your time. Send a message to the Spice Queen that he is coming for her. Do you know? You all look at each other, kind of, and Glenn will look to the captain. So does Keys and Meg and Cookie. I do, boy. Thank you for the message. Well, ladies and gents, it seems that we have a game to play now. And on my word, all of you will be safe. In the meantime, you rest, boy. And everybody keeps to their work. I have to prepare something. She smiles. And she walks away.
Captain.
Yes.
I was wondering, could I potentially have some of my payment in components? For magical components? It would be upfront, but I would use it in service for the ship, I promise.
What are you looking for?
Well, the first thing that I would need is a pearl, so that I can identify things of various nature. Much similar to the one that you had before.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I think that would be it. It'd be 50 gold pieces. I'm not sure how much we're getting paid for all this, but I would like to have that so I could help the group. And
If
I would.
I'm not
What?
mistaken, you guys should have been paid 60 up front and
Oh,
then
were we?
60 to get back.
Oh, wonderful.
Keys kind of look. Oh, I knew you forgot something.
Well, how about if I could purchase a pearl off of you for 50 gold pieces, I'll give you the 50 right now.
Pearls are quite expensive.
Yes, you're right. I know they're hard to find outside of magical shops or
If I'm
jewelers.
not mistaken, it should be 100 gold.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll give you. I have 100 gold on me. That's all I have. It'll be worth it.
She digs into her pocket. Go ahead and put the gold on the table.
All right. Victor takes his pouch of pretty much gold because he has exactly 100 after
Mhm.
that 50. And he just puts it there. There you go. 50 gold.
Okay.
100 gold, sorry.
Do you take out the money out of the pouch, or do you just put the pouch on there on the table?
She can count it if she'd like. But it's exactly 100 gold.
Okay. The pouch immediately disappears. And it's in her hands. The pearl that she took out of her pocket, she closes it, and it ends up right next to you.
Much appreciated, Captain. Thank you so much.
And she walks away.
Victor will kind of look toward the group. Well, I'm glad we have room and board because now I'm broke. At least until we get back.
Keys will look up. That was my fault. Forgot. I'm old. Forgive me. But in your rooms, there will be 60 gold.
Would we have heard that interaction with Victor?
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
assuming it's like right up front. Yeah, she was just leaving.
So as he's walking back, did you just pay 100 gold for pearl?
Yes. Magic is very expensive. I didn't bring all my components from home, so I need this if we find magical items and we don't know what they are. I need this spell to be able to make sure we can take them and use them safely.
I suppose I could have probably gotten you one cheaper though.
No, the spell is completely specific. It has to be worth 100 gold pieces. If it's any cheaper, the spell will not work.
What if it's acquired? Anyway, it doesn't matter now.
Well, Victor will kind of whisper, if you can acquire one and we can sell it, then good. But in the meantime, this is what we have to deal with.
He nods.
The boy just lays back. Oh, did anybody? Oh, I hope. Did anybody see a jar with something in it?
Magpie will point at Belle. I mean, that little thing.
Oh, yes. I think he was after her. I hid her in the jar on me, and next thing you know, I don't know, in the water, I think.
Is she okay to be released?
Yeah. Yeah, she's fine.
I think it's about time we let her out. It's been a while.
Yes, I
She'll
agree.
walk over and open the jar.
As you open the door or jar, she immediately just flies out, like floating, just a small little creature. And she goes to the boy and gives a hug. And he smiles, and then you kind of start to see, like, even though his face is covered, like, in bandages, there's, like, some scratch marks. They start to fade away. And she starts to fly up and immediately kind of looks to all of you and then sits on Minerva's shoulder.
I think you made a new friend, Minerva.
Minerva looks over at her with a soft smile.
Hello, good to see you out of the jar.
And she starts to speak, and you hear this beautiful sound of bells. She says hello, Celeste says.
You can understand her?
Yeah. Um, it's celestial.
Oh,
And then you hear more bell sounds. And she says, thank you to you, boy, for saving her. And she wished that she could have helped, but you put her in a jar. He kind of looks sheepishly. And then again, you hear the beautiful sounds of bells, and then also kind of sounds not too much of like, it's almost like apologetic kind of thing. So the bells kind of go up a little bit higher. And I would say, and she says, no, no, no. She understood that you wanted to save her, and so that's fine. And she also wants to thank you, Minerva, for getting her out of the water.
What is your name? I say to the creature.
You hear the bell sounds, but they sound so sad. She says she doesn't know. She said that she woke up one day, lost. She didn't know where she came from until he found her.
Do you mind the name Belle?
She says she likes it.
She'll look over at the boy. We can't keep calling you boy, though.
It's fine.
We should call him Bug instead.
No.
We're not calling him
I'm
Bug.
just
No.
I'm just jesting.
No, boy's fine.
Euphemia would playfully like nudge Victor. Shake
Yes.
her
Warren
head.
would have laughed. It was funny.
What about what does the boy look like? Because I don't think I got to the description of the boy.
Nope. He has dark hair, almond eyes, human, young. He looks like he's about 14 years old.
You remind me of my brother, though he's older than me. What about the name Peter or Oliver? Can't tell. Then both. To me, you look like both.
I hate them both.
Of course you would.
I don't know. When I look at him, I just imagine Thomas as his name.
Thomas is a better one.
I like that.
He just kind of looks around. It's fine. I'm just used to boy. It's okay.
Nonsense. You're growing into a young man. You need a respectable name. If your Uncle Victor has anything to say about it, you have to have a name so that when you go out into the world, that you can proudly say, hello, I am my name, and remember it.
Maybe I'll think on it.
Yes,
Look.
think on it.
Yeah, come up with something you like, something you think that fits.
You know. Um. All right, I will think on it. Land ho! You hear, Glenn.
Well, it looks like today is a very exciting day.
And ho, excellent. Shall we go up top deck and see it? And Victor will kind of pat the boy on the shoulder.
I think I'm still a little dizzy. Wanna kind of lay down.
Yeah, I think he needs a bit more rest.
Victor kind of restrains his, I don't know, his excitement. It's like, oh, yes, of course, of course.
You guys go back on top deck. It is once again beautiful skies. As you see across, you do see a land. As you get closer, it seems to get further away. You hear Meg, "Are you serious?" Glenn is laughing. The captain walks up, passes the fat black cat, pats on the head as it purrs loud. All right. It stopped moving. The ship gets closer. As you get closer, you start to hear drums. Drums get louder. As you see people dancing as the ship gets closer. On the shores, you see a woman in a beautiful headdress, feathers, dark skin. She looks young. People start to get on the small boats as you all climb in. They start to row towards the shoreline. The people there are dancing freely, enjoying. And look what came. Captain, it's always wonderful to see you again. The captain stands up. And as you guys are rowing, she walks on the water towards the woman. It's always a pleasure to see you again, Voodoo Queen. It is a pleasure. And guess what? You landed on the perfect day. we are gonna have a grand party, and all of you are invited. The spirits are all with me, with us right now. Euphemia, you start to see spirits appear and disappear as they are dancing and laughing. Even the one that's with you starts to nod and sway with the music and kind of stops, kind of realizes what's doing. Don't be shy. Come and enjoy the dancing. As the ships or the small boats stop, you guys get out of the water. It seems you got a very young crew. Well, I am the Voodoo Queen, and welcome to the Crescent Isles. I am sure you have questions, and I have the right cards for you to tell. Come and follow me. As she begins to dance and move as you follow her. We're going to end it there. Welcome
Dun,
to the Crescent Isles. I hope you all enjoyed that.
Poor Hot
It's,
Jack.
Oh, here, I'm going to show you what she looks like. It's not who you think. She's young.
Wait. Is this who?
I don't know.
I'm fucking message you.
But thank you guys again. This one was good. It was fun. You got some good character developments going. There's probably more questions and answers. And Minerva, you got a little friend.
Yeah.
And Nyx has just been hanging out with Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn's not so bad.
Fuck that guy, am I right?
Fuck that guy.
Hey, leave one alone.
I mean, look, if you want to, by no means are any of us stopping you.
Well, we will definitely return next Sunday. M9, are you wanting to do that tonight? Or you'll
No,
wait another day?
We'll do it probably tomorrow. Like the
Yeah.
recap? Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So sometime tomorrow we will be doing a recap and probably have a wonderful guest with us. Thanks again for coming out tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it. I had some fun things playing with the little map, so I hope you guys like the different phases of the map.
The transitions.
Awesome.
The
Yeah.
fog.
Really
The
like
fog
that.
of war rolls in thick.
So yes, we'll return next week at 6:30 p.m. EST, and we'll see what happens on the Crescent Isles. Yeah. Thanks again.
See you
Have a good
all
night.
next week.